Welcome back to Autzen Stadium. I'm Steve Physioc along with Tom Ramsey and Lewis Johnson. You're watching Pac-10 football action on Fox Sports Net as Mississippi State battles Oregon. Be sure to tune in next week for more college football action presented by Kyocera. It all starts at 11:30 in the morning with College Football Saturday's kickoff show at 3:30 Eastern. Fresno State takes on Oregon, followed by San Diego State and Colorado. Then at 10:15 Eastern, Colorado State takes on UCLA. It all begins here on Fox Sports Net at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Due to time constraints, we move ahead to further action right after this message.
One company values the environment by creating solar panels that convert sunlight into a clean source of energy. Ceramic components that make our engines run cleaner. And the most earth-friendly copiers and printers on the planet. One company does all these things and more to improve our quality of life. One company, Kyocera.
On the next Beyond the Glory, Michael Irvin's superstar lifestyle almost ruined a Hall of Fame career.
I don't know anything about anything.
Living the high life.
He was caught up in the money, the women, the drugs.
And in constant trouble.
Why does this stuff keep happening to you?
But a brush with death made him turn things around. I was so afraid of that pain. Playmaker or troublemaker? Michael Irvin, Beyond the Glory, tomorrow at 8 on Fox Sports Net.
Hey guys, let's not forget, man, this is the NFL show. And the NFL's hardcore, so we must stay hardcore. That's right. You know, Tom, you've been out here the longest. You got to make sure that, you know, me and Michael don't get caught up in that Hollywood stuff, you know?
You count on me. If you guys fall off the wayside, just let me know, man.
Mike, I think I'm going to get the, either the polish or the clear. No, just get a nice buff.
Hey, guys, how about a bikini wax next?
Ooh.
The NFL Show with Irvin, Saragusa, and Davidson premieres September 7th. The Southern Sports Report. Your teams, your town, your show. The Southern Sports Report, nightly at 10.
Oregon with the early 7-0 lead on Mississippi State. On the next Beyond the Glory, Michael Irvin's superstar lifestyle almost ruined a Hall of Fame career, but a brush with death made him turn things around. Beyond the Glory takes you inside the hidden world of sports' biggest stars. Michael Irvin, Beyond the Glory, tomorrow at 8, right here on Fox Sports Net. Well, one more penalty for Mississippi State, and they are shooting themselves in the foot. 5 penalties for 54 yards. Let's go to our College Football Saturday studio for a game break with Chris Rose.
All right, Steve, thanks. Earlier we showed you the score. Here's how Colorado State beat number 7 Colorado. Bradley Van Pelt ran for 80, threw for a $163. Sonny Libic's squad 2-0, and Steve and Tom, you'll see the Rams next week when they take on Ramsey's alleged alma mater.
Well, my alma mater has their hands full next week, I'll tell you that. I live in Denver, so
you know how good
and I've seen Colorado State practice, and I'll tell you what, they're for real. They are for real.
It will be interesting next week. That will be an evening game at the Rose Bowl, and UCLA has been preparing. They have been healthy, but they have to replace a great running back in Deshaun Foster.
And think about this, the advantage you have, Steve, of having 2 games under your belt when your team has to come out and play their first game. I mean, that's tough, but...
Well, here's a kid, Jason Fife, who has it tough. I mean, how do you replace a quarterback who had his picture plastered all over the country and whose charisma led 10 come-from-behind victories? That's what Jason Fife has to do, replacing the greatest quarterback in Oregon history, Joey Harrington. And Joey will be visiting with us up in the booth at the end of this period. Keenan Howery back in the game, goes motion, and they run the football ahead to Allen Amundsen, and Amundsen inside the 35 to the 31. Jason Clark on the tackle. Check that, it was Ontario Smith. Let's go down on the sideline to Lewis Johnson.
All right, Steve, thanks a lot. You might have noticed on that last kickoff, we did not see number 15 wide receiver Keenan Howery out on the field. I was talking to a trainer a few moments ago, and he said that he is nursing a bit of a sore hamstring. That's something that happened in the preseason, so they're sort of breaking him in slowly, guys.
So Howery just 30 catches shy of the all-time Oregon record. And the Ducks will stay on the ground, and why not when you have Smith, the junior from Sacramento, who is one of the most talented quarterbacks in the country. And Rams, I think he is going to be a Heisman Trophy candidate for 2 reasons. Number 1, he's a terrific running back. Number 2, no Joey Harrington. And when they really need to punish an opponent and take pressure off Jason Fife, give it to number 2.
He is a great player. He's one of those players, Steve. If you and I and he were in a phone booth together and you said, okay, try and touch him, neither of us would touch him. He'd be out of the phone booth. We'd be sitting there going, okay, where'd he go?
Well, they're going to hammer the middle again this time. Fields and Kelly and Nash are there. And Richard Ball coming away with it.
Yeah, he got more than enough for the first down. I really believe that.
The strip of the football was way late.
They're going to give him a pretty good spot. They got a pretty good push on that interior offensive line. And Steve, what I was going to say a moment ago when you were talking about all the exploits of Onterrio Smith, the reason you can run for 1,000 yards is because you have a great offensive line. And what the Ducks have this year are 8 players up front for 5 positions, essentially. So those offensive linemen are going to work extra hard for Onterrio Smith.
As a team, Oregon only had 12 starters return, the 3rd fewest in the conference. Meantime, Mississippi State had the most lettermen returning in the SEC with 55. But again, they're playing without their quarterback, Kevin Fant. Fant, the NCAA denied the university's appeal of his 1-game suspension. Fant's suspension resulted from a violation involving the purchase of tires that Mississippi State reported the infraction in April. So Fant not here, and that will hit this team hard. A wonderful quarterback, and it is up to Kyle York.
And it is a 1-game suspension, Steve. And one of the other things across the country, Chris Lewis, quarterback at Stanford University, essentially the same kind of thing. He's relegated to sit out next week. Stanford's game against Boston College, and I tell you, that really hurts when you spend a whole offseason with what you hope is your starter. That becomes a tough deal.
They run Amundsen to the right side, and Allen to the 25-yard line where he is knocked down. Richard Ball on the tackle along with Robert Spivey, and there's
Steve, I'll tell you what I like. I like the enthusiasm and the effort that Mississippi State is playing with right now. They had a tough year last year. Let's face it, 3-8, that's not a lot of fun. But these guys, and especially their leaders, Josh Morgan, the free safety, Mario Hagan, the middle linebacker, these guys know the effort you got to put forth to play in the SEC, to play a great Pac-10 team. You got to get after it.
Fife hit as he throws. Coming back to catch the football is Oregon. And with the reception at the 4-yard line is Jason Willis.
Boy, this is fortunate and a little bit of luck. Watch Josh Morgan come in the picture. The free safety just drills 5'5", 6'4", 225-pounder. I tell you, big sturdy base. Even when he gets drilled, he's able to get the ball out. And just by getting it out, you're in blitz, and you get man-to-man on the outside. The ball's complete. You got a first down inside the 5.
First and goal. Fife to throw. Touchdown, Oregon, George Reister.
Steve, a lot of it's the offense. Again, go back to Mike Belotti's system. When he was the offensive coordinator, this offense has turned out a lot of great tight ends. Reister kind of lulls them to sleep. George Reister, sports marketing major in the Warsaw School of Sports Marketing here at the University of Oregon, coming down with a nice touchdown reception.
Now Siegel for the point after. And Oregon takes a 14-0 lead on Mississippi State. 3:16 before the second quarter.
They've landed on the podium to accept Academy Awards. 8 have taken up residence in the Oregon Governor's Mansion. 2 won the Nobel Prize. 180 were named Fulbright Scholars. 67 have gone to the Olympics. And 1 was the first female to cross the North and South Poles. Not bad for a bunch of ducks. The University of Oregon. Spread your wings.
JB, Terry, and Howie welcome Jimmy Johnson back for a special reunion of the pregame team that started it all off. America's #1 pregame show returns next weekend. The Best Damn Sports Show Period's All-Star Summer. It's a special celebration featuring Shaquille O'Neal, Barry Bonds, Sammy Sosa, Kurt Warner, Keyshawn Johnson, Jeff Gordon, Matt Damon, The Counting Crow, and The Rock. I am so freaking excited, man. It's an outrageous summer-long spectacular. You want some of Shaq food? Huge stars, complete insanity. Best Dam's All-Star Summer. Weeknights at 8 and 11 on Fox Sports Net. The Southern Sports Report.
Thank you, thank you, thank you!
It's the nightly newscast you've been waiting for.
This is the real deal.
30 minutes every night dedicated to scores, highlights, and interviews from your hometown teams.
We told you it was going to be good.
Your teams, your town, your show. The Southern Sports Report, nightly at 10 on Fox Sports Net.
Oregon opens like they ended last year. They have knocked on Mississippi State's defense, and they have opened up a 14-0 lead in the first quarter. George Reister with the touchdown catch. He had 1 touchdown a year ago and has 1 in the first quarter of his first game. College Football Saturday presented by Kyocera returns to Fox Sports Net next week with a triple header. First, the Fresno State Bulldogs take on these 15th-ranked Oregon Ducks. Then San Diego State visits the 7th-ranked Colorado Buffaloes. And in the nightcap, the Colorado State Rams battle the UCLA Bruins. Coverage begins next Saturday with the College Football Saturday kickoff show at 11:30 Eastern, 8:30 Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Net. Siegel to kick off. There will be a return from the 13-yard line, and bringing it back, Justin Jenkins. And Jenkins out near the 40-yard line. 3:07 remaining in the first quarter, and they need to give their young redshirt freshman Kyle York a break. And Kevin Fant is not here because of the NCAA violation. It was a minor violation, just a 1-game suspension. So York, the coach's son, they say he's a very capable passer and a team player. He was the scout team quarterback 1 year ago.
He just needs to get some snaps, Steve. Oregon's had the ball almost the entire first quarter.
Well, in the first play, he completed the pass, and then the wide receiver dropped it. So they're going to give the football to Justin Griffith, the fullback from Sanatorium, Mississippi. Mitchell on the tackle. Will be saying number 39's name a lot this year.
Well, you got that mini Urlacher again. Brian Urlacher, one of the great players in the NFL, who was a safety in college, now plays linebacker. And I think Mitchell's one of these guys who's playing linebacker in college. He's going to be a great pro safety.
And then he's going to go join the Marines like Pat Tillman, who did pretty much the same thing, linebacker, safety, and then he's going to go protect the country. Donald Lee on the catch, but another short gain. This is a good defense. I mean, Nick Aliotti did an outstanding job against the Colorado Buffaloes. Everybody thought Colorado's run offense could not be stopped, and he went up against them with 4 down linemen who weren't great players.
And that may be the area of emphasis. Steve Greatwood, the defensive line coach, Steve's done a great job. Look at the total yards, 15 for Mississippi State, 113 for Oregon. That's really the tail of the tape right there.
York in the shotgun, 3rd and 9. Incomplete, intended for Justin Jenkins. It's 3 and out. Webster on the coverage.
And Steve, you said it a moment ago, that time they just rushed 3 guys, but the 3 guys they rushed put enough pressure on to make York kind of hurry through his progression, throw the ball a little bit sooner than he wanted to. The ball goes incomplete. And that's just good football by the Oregon Ducks.
1:48 left. Jared Cook comes on one more time. Blasted one over 50 yards. And now he has Stephen Moore back near his 20. Moore from the 14. He's bringing it. Moore to the 30. Moore to the 38-yard line. Second fine return by Stephen Moore, the junior from L.A. Dorsey High School.
Stephen Moore's got some great little shake and bake. And I'll tell you, right now, Robin Ross, the special teams coach, drawing him up pretty well. You always get, well, the Ducks always get great special teams play at home. Unquestionable great play week after week, but it's how they prepare. It goes back to practice, goes back to what Robin Ross does in practice. They grind them on Fridays. I watched this walkthrough yesterday. It's not a walkthrough, it's a run-through.
Well, here is Jason Fife. He has Reister in motion. They'll run Ontario Smith, and Smith ripping for 8 or 9 yards before Hagan makes the tackle. I think Ontario's getting loosened up. He's got the oil in his shoulders and knees, and Kyle York, I mean, he's been out of the field about 1 minute. 9 carries for 36 yards meantime for Ontario Smith.
You're gonna trip. Sometimes it's lonely over there on that visitor's bench, huh? Kyle York, you go into a hostile environment. Autzen, one of the tougher places to play in the country.
And it's even bigger this year. They added 12,000 seats and they sold them all out. They get the first down. Ontario Smith over 40 yards rushing in this game near the end of the first quarter. But Rams, you take a look at Ontario Smith, and this is a guy very confident. He predicted that he would get 2,000 yards rushing. And one of the offensive linemen, Corey Chambers, said, he'll get 1,000 and we'll get him the other 1,000.
Well, and there's not, you know, I like when people are brimming with confidence. I think more importantly, what he has to provide for this offense and more importantly the team is the leadership aspect. Steve, you lose guys like Joey Harrington, Justin Peel, some great players, Rashad Bowman at corner, and Steve Smith. You need to really provide leadership as the star of the team, and that's what Ontario Smith is going to have to do this year. And I think he's already starting out pretty darn well.
Yes, he has, because he did have some trouble in his past. Left in trouble from Tennessee and had some problems at Oregon last year. So all he needs to do is give himself a little self-discipline to make sure he stays on the right path, and he can have a great future. Well, 2 touchdowns early. Life after Joey Harrington. How about Jason Fife? His first in the Bigs.
Hey, you win! Everyone wins during the Good Stuff giveaway at Rent-A-Center. There's lots of prizes, like new name brand DVD players, computers, home theater systems, HD big screen TVs. Whoa! Or free rent on anything in the store, up to 3 weeks free when you pay a week. Hurry into Rent-A-Center to play and win. For the nearest store, call 1-800-205-2005. The Good Stuff giveaway won't last long, so hurry in, because everyone wins at Rent-A-Center.
The Southern Sports Report. Your teams, your town, your show. The Southern Sports Report, nightly at 10.
On the next Beyond the Glory, Michael Irvin's superstar lifestyle almost ruined a Hall of Fame career.
I don't know anything about anything.
Living the high life
He was caught up in the money, the women, the drugs.
and in constant trouble.
Why does this stuff keep happening to you?
But a brush with death made him turn things around. Now so afraid of that pain, playmaker or troublemaker. Michael Irvin, Beyond the Glory, tomorrow at 8 on Fox Sports Net.
Hey guys, let's not forget, man, this is the NFL show. And the NFL's hardcore, so we must stay hardcore.
That's right.
You know, Tom, you've been out here longest. You got to make sure that, you know, me and Michael don't get caught up in that Hollywood stuff, you know?
You count on me. If you guys fall off the wayside, just let me know, man.
Mike, I think I'm going to get the either the polish or the clear. No, just get a nice buff.
Hey, guys, How about a bikini wax next?
Ooh. The NFL Show with Irvin, Saragusa, and Davidson premieres September 7th.
Oregon with a 14-0 lead over Mississippi State. We're at Autzen Stadium in Eugene, Oregon. Steve Biziak along with Tom Ramsey. We are now joined by last year's All-American Joey Harrington, led them to that Fiesta Bowl victory. And Joey, wanted to ask you, how's life as an Oregon football fan?
A lot more nerve-wracking, to be honest. You've got those jitters coming into the game, but when you're playing out there on the field, you can get rid of them. You get that first play under your belt, and it just kind of disappears. Now I'm stuck watching everybody else play. I'm shaking out there.
Well, I tell you, Joey, real quick, just tell us, I mean, at the end of last season, it just had to be a great thrill. I mean, you culminate your career with a Fiesta Bowl win, a #2 ranking.
You know, you really couldn't have painted a better picture. If someone had told me we're going to finish #2 in the country and our second Pac-10 championship, that was just about the perfect way to go out. And, you know, hopefully these guys can build on that this year.
Well, hey, great luck at the next level, my friend.
Thank you.
And now we want Joey to join us in the booth, and maybe we can discuss Jason Fife, because Jason Fife had some wonderful words for you last year when you had so many close games that resulted in victory, and he told you, if you don't orchestrate some blowouts so I can get in the game, I'm going to get mad.
Chase is a little, he's got some attitude to him. I like him. He's going to be a good team leader this year.
He is a junior from Lake Elsinore, California, and there is Reister, and Reister for the first down. And Mike Bellotti told us that George Reister would really surprise us. Tell us about this tight end.
The kid's an athlete. I mean, he's a tremendous athlete. He's big, he blocks well, he runs extremely well. Tried out for the, or played some with the basketball team the last couple of years, and he moves extremely well for a big guy. He's going to be a good player for him this year.
Well, this is such a great environment as well, and I'm glad you had a chance to watch it as a football fan, because as a quarterback, there's so much going through your mind, and I know how you have the ability to block out the crowd.
I think I like it a little bit better down there. Like I was saying, I'm not quite as nervous when I'm on the field.
Here's Ontario Smith, big hole. He slashes for about 5'6" inside the 30-yard line. Well, tell us the skills of Jason Fife. What make him a talented quarterback?
Jason is tremendous. I believe 100% in the skills he has and the way he leads the team. Just take, for instance, that first drive. He willed them down the field. And there were a couple of 3rd and 1s, that option. He made a busted play and broke up the sideline for a first down, and then diving in the end zone. He willed them down the field, and that's what Jason brings, just a toughness and a gutty attitude.
Now on 2nd down, Amundsen stays in the game, slot left side, now goes motion. Almost ran into Fife. Fife looking left, wide open. Reister! George Reister's 2nd touchdown of the game!
I'll tell you what's really interesting right here. We're standing next to the former All-American Joey Harrington, and when Reister springs free right here, a little drag underneath, he's pointing to him. Hey, Jason, throw it to him. He saw the play develop long before anyone else did.
It's a lot easier to see it from up top here.
That's right. The eye in the sky never lies.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's interesting, as football players and ex-football players, you're trained to watch all 22 players, and when you're this high, the vantage point, you see things develop early, and Reister sure came free.
There is a penalty on the kick as Oregon trying to go up 21-0. But it is such a creative offense, and we were talking with Joe Lee Dunn, who said, I went back to the 80s. This is Mike Bellotti's system. He was running the same kind of offense.
Dead ball. False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Well, there's so much leeway in the offense. You know, coaches have the ability to create week in and week out. You know, what do I... You know, Coach Tepper would keep a pad by his bed and just keep notes from, you know, when he'd wake up from a midnight sleep. But, you know, that play right there was a fly sweep action they've been running all game, and they just pulled a play action off it and dragged the tight end across and hit him for a big touchdown there.
You think Jeff Tedford's
49 points.
been down in the Bay Area? I think he was drawing up plays this week at halftime. They were leading Baylor 49-7.
Jeff Tedford, the former offensive coordinator here, now the head football coach at California. But George Reister, 1 touchdown all last year, 2 in the first half at Oregon.
Rated E for everyone. Welcome to NFL Fever 2003.
convoy. Watch the big man. Boom, shakalaka. Zips a pass over the middle. Wide open. Ball is up. He pushed it right. Swatted. Hello. Oh, my. NFL Fever 2003, only on Xbox. For more gridiron action, play online with Xbox Live.
Georgia and Clemson has always been big to me.
The Tigers and Bulldogs reignite their rivalry. And when all is said and done, Coach Mark Richt is sitting down with us to break down the game on your Southern Sports Report, Sunday night at 10 o'clock on Fox Sports Net.
I'm Jim Rome. Next week on The Last Word, my conversation with legendary broadcaster Ernie Harwell on Monday, and we'll be all over the opening week of the NFL season as well. The Last Word, weeknights at 10:30, Fox Sports Net.
The best damn sports show period's All-Star Summer. It's a special celebration featuring Shaquille O'Neal, Barry Bonds, Sammy Sosa, Kurt Warner, Keyshawn Johnson, Jeff Gordon, Matt Damon, The Counting Crows, and The Rock. I am so freaking excited, man. It's an outrageous summer-long spectacular.
You want some of Shaq food?
Huge stars, complete insanity. Best Damn's All-Star Summer. Weeknights at 8 and 11 on Fox Sports Net.
On the next Beyond the Glory, Michael Irvin's superstar lifestyle almost ruined a Hall of Fame career.
I don't know anything about anything.
Living the high life
He was caught up in the money, the women, the drugs.
and in constant trouble.
Why does this stuff keep happening to you?
But a brush with death made him turn things around. Now so afraid of that pain, playmaker or troublemaker. Michael Irvin, Beyond the Glory, tomorrow at 8 on Fox Sports Net.
21-0 Oregon over Mississippi State. Steve Physioc, Tom Ramsey. We're with Joey Harrington. Joey, break down this play.
I'm gonna try and remember after my West Coast stint. We've been running a lot of fly sweep this game, and so they fake the fly sweep, and it's a turnback protection Oregon uses a lot, 740, so they're going to half roll Jason, and we usually run a lot of smash to the front, and it's just wide drag all the way across the field. The safeties just lose him because he's sneaking out the back door, and George made a great play in the end zone there.
The old wide drag. Remember that one, kids at home. Use it on the ball field. Use it in the park. The wide drag always works. It works in the NFL too. You don't forget it either.
All the time.
Oregon has dominated the clock, and they are up 21-0. Mississippi State starting quarterback left home in Mississippi. And the redshirt freshman Kyle York having to start in his place.
Well, Joey, let me ask you this. You played in an absolute great offense here. You're now in the West Coast offense. People hear about it all the time. I mean, is it as much fun? Is it more fun?
It will be once I learn it. It's difficult to learn, to be honest, because our styles were so different from Oregon to Detroit. There was a lot more, I don't want to say solidity, but if that's even a word. The protections were solid. I had rules. At the West Coast offense, just a feel. You gotta pick up for it. That's why it takes a while. It takes people a while to get it.
Have you been impressed with the speed of the game? I know when I played, and guys run faster now. You go to the next level, and it's amazing because all 11 guys on the other side of the ball are speedsters.
Oh, it's incredible. I mean, I've been around guys who run 4.3, even a couple 4.2s, but the reaction time of these DBs especially is incredible. I threw a seam route down the middle and had a DB at a corner break all the way across the field and knock it down. That's I've got some learning to do.
Well, now it's Kyle York.
Yeah.
On second down and almost 10 yards to go. York back. Downfield he goes. Incomplete. Let's go back to the Fiesta Bowl last year against Colorado. Joey Harrington had a wonderful game. Keenan Howery with this touchdown catch. And Igor Olshansky in the defense shoved him down. Steve Smith with an interception. Rashad Bowman. And you were saying hello to a 38-16 victory and to fans who have really grown to be some of the best on the West Coast.
That's not limited to the West Coast here.
You're right.
We can call it the nation if we want to.
Broken up. It'll be fourth down because Autzen Stadium and McCourt are two of the liveliest places in college sports.
Well, you know, I think before the remodel here, people really underestimated the Autzen Stadium, just the noise it can manufacture. 40,000 people doesn't seem like a whole lot, but we've got some energy down here in the Willamette Valley, and I think it catches some people off guard.
And now it's up to 54,000. A new press box. Added 12,000 seats in the offseason. So Oregon will get it again. Stephen Moore standing back at his 40-yard line. Rather keen to Howry. Howry makes the catch. And Howry skips to the 50-yard line, but there are 2 flags down.
A couple flags down. Steve, as we're finding out about the penalty, Joey, one of the things you look around at the expansion and the renovation of this place. I mean, you were largely responsible for a lot of it because of the success of the
Player
team.
was down before the ball was loose.
But you got to feel proud coming back on the national scene. The things that the Ducks preseason last year putting you up in Manhattan on a huge billboard. I mean, that in and of itself was a bold move by Oregon. But Mike Bellotti has said it paid off because of the national exposure.
Interference with a receiver on the kicking team. That's 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
Well, you know, it took some guts for them to put it up there, and a lot of people criticized it, you know, saying, you know, how dare you make that kind of a statement. But in reality, whether they were talking good or talking bad about us, they were talking about us. And that's what it was. It drew exposure to our program. It made people think, you know, hey, who are these Oregon Ducks? Who's that guy on the side of the billboard? And whether they were looking for us to fail or looking for us to blow somebody out, they were still watching us. And that's just done nothing but increase the popularity of our program.
Really has. Really has. You look at the success of what Oregon's done over the last 30 games. There's only one team better. Miami Hurricanes.
Yeah, we didn't get a shot against them. That's right.
Fight back in. He's led them to a 21-0 lead. He scrambles away. This guy is athletic. Now he'll throw it away smartly.
Another flag down. Mario Hagan, the middle linebacker, was the one that chased down 5, but Chuck McFerrin, the referee, protecting number 12 with a quick flag. And I actually thought that was a clean hit. Mario Hagan, he's not a vicious player. He's a very smart, heady player. He's aggressive now. He'll come after you.
You know, that plays
the one that drew the flag.
That plays a good example of what Jason brings to this football team.
Roughing the passer on the defense. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
I was never the quickest one out there. You know, I got the job done, but you know, Jason has such escapability, and he moves around so well. I think he ran 4.5 this offseason. He's 6'4", 220, 225, and moves like he's about 200. So he really brings another dimension to this team.
It just seems like you guys have a factory of quarterbacks. So many in the past. Danny O'Neill, the Billy Smith, the Joey Harrington, now Jason Fife, and right behind him, Kellen Clemens, a redshirt freshman. That's all I saw on the scout team last year. Inside the 30-yard line, what kind of player could he be? Because Andy Ludwig, the new offensive coordinator, said, you know, he's a cowboy from Eastern Oregon.
Dick Kellen's a tremendous player, a great athlete as well. He had to make a lot of the plays back in his high school. He was out there running around and just creating things on the fly, and I think that might have hurt him a little bit coming into this offense. You know, he doesn't have to do everything. We've got tremendous talent, and you know, once he gets comfortable in our offense and comfortable in the pocket, I think he's going to be a great player.
There he is, 6'2", 212 from Burns, Oregon. Said he'd take time off for spring break, go back to brand cattle. That's what we all do during spring break. Or go to Daytona.
Speak for yourself.
Here's Ontario Smith pushing his way to the 26-yard line. Khalil Nash on the tackle.
I'll let you brand cattle, and I'll just go on a warm, sunny beach somewhere. How's that?
Could you bring me, please?
With those little umbrella things sticking out of my iced tea. See, Joey will look forward to that come off season. After the NFL season.
The warm vacation out the Brandon Cattle.
Yes, that's right. Thank you. We won't see Steve on the ranch. 3rd and 5.
Howry and Sammy Parker both go wide left, and they will have single coverage. Fife goes their way, and there's a little pick play, and Keenan Howry is stopped shy of the first down. Tell me about the legality of the pick play.
What pick play? that was a rub route. There was no pick out there. It was a switch route, and they just happened to get picked off in the mix.
It's not a pick if you don't call it a pick.
Exactly.
If you call it a rub, if offense calls it a rub, and two defensive players bump into each other, that's just a good play.
Exactly.
These sound guys sound like Judge Judy. All this legalese talk. From 39 yards out, Siegel's kick is up and perfect. And Oregon has been masterful. 24-0 with the lead over Mississippi State. Joey Harrington, thanks so much for joining us, and good luck in Detroit.
Thank you very much.
Georgia and Clemson has always been big to me.
The Tigers and Bulldogs reignite their rivalry. And when all is said and done, Coach Mark Richt is sitting down with us to break down the game on your Southern Sports Report, Sunday night at 10 o'clock on Fox Sports Net.
Michael Irvin's superstar lifestyle almost ruined his career.
He was caught up in the money, the women, the drugs.
Playmaker or troublemaker? Beyond the Glory, tomorrow at 8 on Fox Sports Net.
One company brings new value to the way we communicate with smartphone technology that adds color to the wireless world. Fiber optic components that drive broadband internet service. And copiers that scan direct to email for instant communication around the globe. One company does all these things and more to keep you in touch with your world. One company, Kyocera.
Welcome back to Autzen Stadium. I'm Steve Physioc along with Tom Ramsey and Lewis Johnson. You're watching Pac-10 football action on Fox Sports Net as Mississippi State battles Oregon. Be sure to tune in next week for more college football action presented by Kyocera. It all starts at 11:30 in the morning with College Football Saturday's kickoff show at 3:30 Eastern. Fresno State takes on Oregon, followed by San Diego State and Colorado. Then at 10:15 Eastern, Colorado State takes on UCLA. It all begins here on Fox Sports Net at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Due to time constraints, we move ahead to further action right after this message.
Hey guys, let's not forget, man, this is the NFL show. And the NFL's hardcore, so we must stay hardcore.
That's right.
You know, Tom, you've been out here longest. You got to make sure that, me and Michael don't get caught up in that Hollywood stuff, you know?
You can count on me. If you guys fall off the wayside, just let me know, man.
Mike, I think I'm going to get the polish or the clear. No, just get a nice buff.
Hey, guys, how about a bikini wax next?
Ooh. The NFL Show with Irvin, Saragusa, and Davidson premieres September 7th. The best damn sports show period's All-Star Summer. It's a special celebration featuring Shaquille O'Neal, Barry Bonds, Sammy Sosa, Kurt Warner, Keyshawn Johnson, Jeff Gordon, Matt Damon, The Counting Crow, and The Rock. I am so freaking excited, man. It's an outrageous summer-long spectacular.
You want some of Shaq food?
Huge stars, complete insanity. Best Damn's All-Star Summer. Weeknights at 8 and 11 on Fox Sports Net. Introducing Real-Time Racing. Live racing excitement from America's best tracks. Live video and audio streaming. And everything you need to watch and wager online. Current information. Handicapping products. Current odds. Find out more about real-time racing. Go to foxsports.com on Lycos. Keyword, horse racing. You're watching Fox Sports Net.
Coming up on the Nissan Halftime Report, I believe joined by a very happy Kellen Winslow and Artie Gigantino with all the scores and highlights. Plus, we'll break down the big gap in the big house. But right now, back to Steve, Tom, and Lewis up in Eugene, Oregon.
We have a packed house here, Chris. 24-0. The Ducks have been mauling Mississippi State. Jason Fife on first down throwing the football. It was tipped at the line of scrimmage. Well, we have a 24-0 thrashing in the first half by the Ducks over Mississippi State, but another Pac-10 school humbled a Big 12 school by the name of California over Baylor. I mean, Cal, they were the worst team in the Pac-10 last year, and they won today 70-22. 70 points by Cal. This was an offense that couldn't score a year ago.
That game, though, Cal Baylor, that could have been a bowl game for the worst couple teams of a year ago.
Well, I guess Cal's a little better.
They're a little better.
Jeff Tedford, the old offensive coordinator here at Oregon, is now their head coach, and you knew he would do a very strong job. When we met him first at Fresno State and then came here, you said this guy is a future head coach.
I think Jeff Tedford is an absolute great coach. Cal will be good. And Baylor, I'm not disrespecting the programs. The reality is they each suffered through a very long, arduous season a year ago. And you know what? Some team's going to win. Unfortunately, some team loses.
Fife throwing. The catch is made, and a touchdown. Demetrius Williams, the redshirt freshman from Pittsburgh, California. Man, what a first half for Fife.
What a first half. What a cushion that Demetrius Williams had. Watch, he's just going to come up, run a slant, take it to the house, Steve, but the cushion that the defensive back plays with, it's frightening. That's a lot of room between the receiver and the DB, and Jason Fife taking full advantage of it. They're going to move back.
Holding.
They're going to count it.
Holding by the offensive line.
Was that just a real late flag, or did I just completely go blind and not see the flag come out?
Well, Mike Bellotti.
I'll go with the fact it was late.
There you go. So Oregon will be backed up at their 30-yard line to be a third down play, and they'll need 19 yards to go. Blitz on. Fife steps up nicely. Howry was the intended receiver at the 5-yard line, but Fife overthrew him by about 2 yards. Richard Ball on the coverage.
You know what's interesting, Steve? You know, you ran a play a moment ago, the Oregon Ducks did, that they had a ton of cushion on Demetrius Williams. He scored. A lot of coaches will just say, hey, run the same play. Even though you got 3rd and 20, run the same play. It's safe. It's built in. You got some built-in outlets, quick rhythm throw. You're not going to take a sack. But it was how much cushion the DB gave Williams. I couldn't believe it.
So now Jared Siegel comes on to attempt a field goal of some 47 yards. Fife holding. Kick is up. Long enough. And good. A perfect first half for Oregon. 27-0 over Mississippi State.
Agent Sever. Deadly. Relentless. Agent X. Ditto. It will take 2 extreme agents to stop a microscopic assassin. One touch of a button, you can give a head of state a heart attack.
My turn.
Antonio Banderas.
That's how I deal with stress.
Lucy Liu. Ballistic X versus Sever. This feature is not yet rated. Starts September 20th.
Hey, you win! Everyone wins during the Good Stuff giveaway at Rent-A-Center. There's lots of prizes, like new name brand DVD players, computers, home theater systems, HD big screen TVs.
Whoa!
Or free rent on anything in the store, up to 3 weeks free when you pay a week. Hurry into Rent-A-Center to play and win. For the nearest store, call 1-800-205-2005. The Good Stuff giveaway won't last long, so hurry in, because everyone wins at Rent-A-Center.
27-0 Oregon with the lead on Mississippi State. College football Saturday brought to you by Kyocera. Steve Biziak, Tom Ramsey, Lewis Johnson with you. And here's a kickoff by Oregon. Justin Jenkins will go to one knee, and Mississippi State will have a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Our Fox Sports Net virtual coach. You can vote at foxsports.com on Lycos. Which coach is under the most pressure to win this year? Carl Franks of Duke, Glenn Mason of Minnesota, Bob Toledo at UCLA, Tyrone Willingham of Notre Dame, and Ron Zook of Florida. I think they're going to give a little edge to Willingham because he did a marvelous job at Stanford. First year.
Steve, you know what they forgot on that poll? The 112 other head coaches in the country.
They're all
that
under pressure.
Have to win every week. Let's face it. It's big business. It's big-time football. The pressure is on.
Well, you talked about the SEC with $70 million provided by college football in the SEC. And there's the catch by Terrell Grindle for a 1st down. And it is the first down in the ball game for Mississippi State and their young freshman quarterback, Kyle York.
Well, and you know what? The cowbells are ringing. The Mississippi State fans know that are sitting in the corner of Autzen Stadium here. They're happy. They have a 1st down. They got excited, as well as they should. Kyle York is happy. He got protection.
Ducks with 16 to 1 in 1st down. 234 to like 35 total offense. And now the running back Fred Reed from Tampa, Florida, goes forward for maybe a yard, but that is all. 2nd down and 9.
Hey, Steve, you know what the good news is on all this pressure to win stuff? The proliferation of bowls. Half the teams in Division 1A go to a bowl game.
Half?
Well, half.
Sounds like
it's pretty darn close to half. Yeah. I bet you. We'll do some research. My good friend Mitch Reinhardt in our truck, our top informational guru, will I'm sure come up with something.
2nd down and 9 for Kyle York. Nice pass by York. And here goes Fred Reed off for their 2nd 1st down of the game. And Reed passed the 45-yard line. Let's go to Lewis Johnson.
Hey, Steve, you know when you consider Jackie Sherrill's time at Mississippi State, you see 11 full seasons, 6 bowl appearances, but then you ask yourself, what in the world happened last year with the 3-8? Well, they got off to a bad start. One game won in September the 3rd, but they were off September the 10th the next weekend. Then, of course, the attacks on America September the 11th caused the cancellation of the game on the 17th. Maybe you're getting the picture here. When they finally got back on the field, they had been off 17 days, and it was downhill from there. 5 losses by a touchdown or less, 3 losses in the last minute, as they now try and get some offense going. But Mississippi State struggling at this opener, hoping to correct it this season.
Thank you, Lewis, and a fine pass by Kyle York to Terrell Grindle for a 1st down inside the Oregon 20-yard line.
This is a nice throw by York. He fires it out up the sideline to Grindle, and Grindle, 27 starts in his career as a Bulldog, and I believe he just came down on the ball. That's awfully tough. And just to follow up on what Lewis said, you know, when you got 17 days off, they had 11 JC transfers last year. They needed the repetition. They needed the practice, and they weren't able to teach the assignments they want to execute in the game.
And somebody jumped off sides. Ed Wangler.
You know, football's such a game of momentum here, Steve. You see all of a sudden Mississippi State, they get a couple 1st downs. They can start operating some of their offense.
Offside on the defense. In the zone at snap. 5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
One of the concerns coming in, and Sparky Woods, the offensive coordinator, had this concern as well as Jackie Sherrill, was the push and explosiveness they get out of that offensive line. They got a lot of young players there, and of course they're facing a tough defensive line of Oregon, but right now they're knocking on the door into the end zone.
Trying to get back in this game. They are down 27-0 at Oregon. York finds his man at the 5-yard line, and Dante Walker and Justin Jenkins out in that area, and Jenkins with the catch. And he has the 1st down at the 6-yard line. But this is a football team that I think is going to get back to a bowl game this year. I mean, Jackie Sherrill will return this team to a bowl game, but with the rugged SEC, it may come down to the Egg Bowl with Mississippi on November 28th to determine whether the Dogs go bowling this year. I mean, Jackie's taken them to bowl games in 5, but last 10 years.
Well, you got to remember, Jackie Sherrill, his resume has a couple national championships as a player under Bear Bryant in Alabama, 1964 and 65. And then all the assistant coaches that he's worked with. Do you know he was the head coach in 1976 in Pullman, Washington, at Washington State? His roommate for 6 months, Bill Moose, the athletic director, the current athletic director of the Oregon Ducks. True story. I fell out of my chair talking to Bill Moose yesterday. He told me, he goes, "You won't believe this."
Well, Jackie came here with that Washington State team and beat Oregon 23-22 in 1976. York, under pressure, fires. It is broken up in the end zone.
Nice play by Stephen Moore, number 4, Steve. Nice job of breaking on the football. And he's really, you know, even though he's a junior, he hasn't had a lot of time back in that secondary. I like what Mississippi State's doing, though. They move the pocket. They give York a little freedom. He zings the ball, and that's just a great play by the cornerback, Moore.
York now 7 for 11 for 80 yards. It is 3rd down. Goal to go. Incomplete. And a flag is down right at the goal line.
And it may be favorable to Mississippi State. There are a lot of jostling trying to get open, and the defensive backs were right on the hips of those Bulldogs.
Holding of an eligible receiver by the defense. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
You know what I like, Steve? I like when a referee has control of the game, and Mike Bellotti might not like the call, but Chuck McFerrin, the referee today, does such a nice job. He and his crew, never a lot of time between calls, real concise calls, and right there helping Mississippi State out. They finally get a break their way. First down inside the 5.
Trying to get into that end zone. Fred Reed is their tailback. Double tight end. York to Reed, and he is knocked down at the 2-yard line.
Well, keep an eye on the clock here, too. Minute 5 and ticking.
Coming up at the half, our Nissan halftime report. Chris Kellen and Artie in the studio. They'll be talking about number 11 Washington losing with number 13 Michigan today. Stats and highlights from around college football. But what an ending as the Huskies lose to the Wolverines because of 12 men on the field late in that game with 6 seconds to go. Another try by the fullback, this time Justin Griffith. And they're stuffed by the interior of the Oregon defense. And a little pushing and shoving going on. Igor Olshansky, the sophomore from the Ukraine. That's right. From the old Soviet Union.
I'll tell you what, right there, those players that were jostling, they ended up knocking Chuck McFerrin down.
Dead ball. Personal foul on the defense. Half the distance to the goal.
Well, Chuck McFerrin, the referee, he got knocked down in that scrum. I'll tell you, that's not going to make him happy.
Doesn't make Mike Bellotti happy either.
Well, it doesn't make either head coach happy. You want to avoid the penalties. You said it earlier, Steve. A lot of penalties, sloppy play usually in the first game out of the blocks. Right now, though, if you're Mississippi State, you got 25 seconds on the clock. You gotta put the ball in the end zone.
And Olshansky comes out. York trying to get his team into the end zone. Kyle saying, let's pick it up, as he waved his arm to those Mississippi State fans who came from the southern states, and they're ringing their cowbells now. This fall, get your NFL fix a day earlier with the most outrageous, unpredictable NFL pregame show you've ever seen. Introducing the NFL show on Fox Sports Net with Michael Irvin, Tony Siragusa, and comedian Tommy Davidson. Pregame shows may never be the same. So start your NFL weekend the night before kickoff with the NFL show premiering Saturday, September 7th on Fox Sports Net.
The Goose. I forgot to ask Harrington while he was here. You know something, like at the next level at the NFL, guys are so fast, but yet there's guys like Tony Saragusa in pads. They're like 5 feet wide, 8 feet tall.
And
how do you get around
it? On you, it hurts.
Remember what he did to Rich Gannon?
Yeah.
In the playoff game? Oh, he broke him in half.
It's 1st and goal for Mississippi State as they try and get on the scoreboard for the first time. Dante Walker is in for the touchdown.
Well, Mississippi State had a chance to regroup over on the sideline, Steve, and what they told the players is, hey, look, we have an opportunity here to punch it in, get 7 points, hopefully on the board, and give yourself a little momentum going in at the half, because the game is long from over here. Even though the Ducks came out of the gate pretty fast, right now Mississippi State, the crowd got awfully quiet.
Well, that was the 10th play of the drive. It went 80 yards. Mississippi State had just 12 plays in the entire first half for 22 before that. But they're on the scoreboard within 20 now of Oregon as Dante Walker scores his first touchdown of 2002.
Dante Walker came into the game 17 career touchdowns. So effective inside the +5 yard line, and he knows where the end zone is. He knows where pay dirt is, and right there leaning over for the score.
Mississippi State finally has something to smile about.
Tell you what I like about Dante Walker, Steve. You know who he reminds me of? He actually reminds me, when we worked the bowl game, the Silicon Valley Bowl last year, he reminds me of P.J. Duckett, the great former Michigan State player, now with the Atlanta Falcons. He's built, he's low to the ground, over 1,727 career rush yards. That's 12th on the all-time list for Mississippi State, and he had one start last year. He had one start. I believe it was against Florida. I mean, it's amazing. Vincenzo Miller was the starter for the Bulldogs last year.
Yeah, they lost 52-0 to the Gators, and he gained 156 yards, so it's not like he wasn't doing his job. No, that was as a sophomore they had the 156 game.
Right.
And that was the excellent year where they had that wild Independence Bowl victory over Texas A&M.
Kickoff out of bounds on the kicking team. That penalty is declined. Oregon will take the ball at out of bounds spot. First down.
Well, you know what? That's a big break. Look at all of a sudden what happens here. You get the ball out at where it went out of bounds. Well, what does that just give Oregon? It gives them a chance to score right now. With 20 seconds left on the clock, you're either 2 plays away, because you got plenty of time. They still have 2 timeouts.
Jason Fife in his first college start has had the luxury of great field position. Looking downfield all kinds of time, now throws it, and it is broken up at the 20-yard line. Banks with the breakup. Corey Banks, the senior from Boynton Beach, Florida.
Corey Banks doing a nice job that time. The young Fife staring down his receiver the entire time, Steve, and Corey Banks doing a great job tracking the receiver, making the play. He had a good year last year. Corey Banks was a JC transfer, came into the system 2 years ago, right now in his senior year. 4 picks a year ago.
2nd and 10. They give it to the fullback, Matt Floberg, and he is through past the 40-yard line. And that will be the final play of the first half. Oregon with a terrific first half with a new quarterback. Jason Fife replacing Joey Harrington, and an A+ so far.
Do you have to go to the airport to rent from Hertz? Not exactly. There are hundreds of Hertz local edition locations all across the country. Close to you. Come into your Hertz local edition. Close to you. Or we'll come and get you.
Warning.
This video contains explicit material not suitable for children. Think you've seen it all before? Think again. Because now, Girls Gone Wild takes you to dozens of the top party schools across the USA. Introducing Girls Gone Wild on campus. An all-new, off-the-hook, totally uncensored video packed with hundreds of stunning real college girls. Hit the clubs with out-of-control undergrads. Hang out with hot sorority sisters exposing it all. And crash the craziest frat parties ever caught on tape. It's not sold in stores and can't be shown on TV. So call now and get the all-new Girls Gone Wild on campus, yours on video or DVD for just $9.99. Use your credit card and we'll also send you the all-new Girls Gone Wild Dorm Room Fantasies free. Come inside actual college dorms and see what happens when these sexy co-eds act out their most private fantasies. You'll get 2 all-new videos, raw, real, and uncut, for only $9.99. Then be the first to preview the latest Girls Gone Wild videos. Satisfaction guaranteed, cancel anytime. If you're over 18, call 1-800-458-9898 to order Girls Gone Wild on campus. Video or DVD for only $9.99. Use your credit card to get Dorm Room Fantasies free. Call now 1-800-458-9898 or see more action now at girlsgonwild.com.
Chef Gamecock asks, volunteers, anyone? Yummy. Rivalries. Ain't college football great? Play NCAA Football 2003. EA Sports. It's in the game. Rated E for everyone.
Someone's developed a micro device created to be the perfect killer. Injectable. One touch of a button, you can give a head a state of heart attack.
It will take 2 extreme agents to stop it. Antonio Banderas, Agent X.
That's how I deal with stress.
Lucy Liu, Agent Sever.
My turn.
Ballistic, X versus Sever. This feature is not yet rated. Starts Friday, September 20th.
Volunteers love grilled gamecock. Rivalries. Ain't college football great? Play NCAA Football 2003. EA Sports. It's in the game. Rated E for everyone.
People are raving about Cedric the Entertainer Precinct.
Lord, I ain't laughed as hard since my first hooves today. A new sketch comedy show, Box Ball.
The College Football Saturday, presented by Kyocera. There is the Willamette River, where Tom Ramsey canoed his UCLA Bruins to victory years ago. And our score at halftime, 27-7. Ducks over Mississippi State. Here's Rams. Did a fine job. And how about that first half?
Well, I live to tell about it. How's that? The canoeing, not the game. I thought the game in the first half, it's a game of momentum. Football's always a game of momentum, Steve. Oregon had it early on. They did a great job executing every facet of their offense. Mississippi State had a tough time getting on track, but then right before half, Kyle York made some throws. They got some first downs. Dante Walker able to get the ball in the end zone. And, you know, they got on the board. That's the most important thing, and I expect a very competitive second half.
And the Renner Center stance clearly favor Oregon.
Well, they really do. If you look at total yards, they outdistance Mississippi State by quite a bit, 240-91. And really, I think the name of the game is going to be rush yards. Mississippi State doesn't have a lot of rush yards right now, only 11, and that's going to be able for them to control some of the clock, Steve.
Thank you, Tom. And there you see it. 16-6, and for a while it was 16-0. Oregon out first downing the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Mississippi State won the toss to open the ball game, and they deferred to the second half, so they will be receiving here. And Jared Siegel will be kicking off. Fred Reed, Justin Jenkins are the return men. Nick Turner back deep, also the true freshman. Brings it back near the 20-yard line. Let's go down on the field to Lewis Johnson.
Okay, Steve, thanks a lot. Talked to both of the coaches during the half. Jackie Sherrill said to me that, you know, it's hard to get anything going offensively when you barely have the ball. No third down conversions, and the penalties, of course, killed them. I asked him if the touchdown helped them at the end of the half. He said, yeah, but Oregon's putting 9 in the box, so they know they're going to have to trust York and throw the ball. And as far as Mike Bellotti, I asked him, were the questions answered about replacing Joey Harrington at quarterback? He said, yeah, he did a good job. But got to remember, this is a team game, and it takes everybody to make it happen. He warned them, be careful, don't get lax with the score like it is, and play hard.
It took all of them last year to finish number 2 in the nation, 11-1. Mississippi State coming back from a 3-8 year in 2001. York play action going deep, and it is broken up beautifully. Oh, what a play by safety Keith Lewis.
Keith Lewis plays such a great center field for the Ducks. Out of his free safety position, Steve, they try to get the ball deep. I love the call by Sparky Woods, the offensive coordinator. And that's a heck of a throw by Kyle York, but it's one better by Keith Lewis. He just makes a spectacular play.
He's the junior from Sacramento, California. They talked about he was the special team phenom as a freshman. Now York, 7 of 11 in the first half for 80 yards. Didn't make too many mistakes, but didn't get much help from the run game either. And now they will run. And it's Dante Walker. And Walker needs to get going. He hammers his way out past the 25 near the 27 for the tackles made by David Moretti. First half possessions. Oop, that's not good. They had an 80-yard drive to end their offensive showcase with a touchdown.
Well, a 10-play drive, 80 yards, that's production. That is production. A lot of 3-and-outs. You don't want that. Right now, a crucial third down. It's really important for them to really maintain that momentum they had at the end of the first half. They need to get it going again right now.
Jenkins and Brindle are York's wide receivers. And they have trouble from the snap, fumbling the football, and Oregon may have it. Yes, they do. Ducks will take over at the Mississippi State 24-yard line. I'm not sure if Blake Jones ever really gave it to Kyle York as he came away.
Seth McEwen, the veteran defensive end, Steve, center quarterback exchange, just scoots away. Seth McEwen, you know, I don't know how fair that is, and I'll tell you why. The quarterback, Kyle York, when he slid in to recover the ball, it appeared as though he had possession. Seth McEwen, now watch, he's down. Well, the ball does, oh, you know what? He never had possession. Igor Olshansky, all 300 pounds, and slammed into York, never had a chance to recover the ball.
Now,
and
Mississippi
McEwen right there.
State playing some strong defense. They wrap up Jason Fife, and it's T.J. Mawhinney.
Those are great pictures. Those were great. That's a great replay. Numbers on Jason Fife, 8 of 15, 97 yards. Pretty darn efficient. I think when Joey Harrington came in, the 2 scores to George Reister, the tight end, I think when Joey Harrington came in and he explained what made Fife good, Steve, escapability, strength, athleticism, and he's been in the system. He knows what to expect versus certain coverages.
Fife with the 3-step drop and completes the pass to Sammy Parker.
Take a look at Oregon in the first half. They started off gangbusters, 15 plays, 80 yards, score. Go in the short field 2 different times, 62 and 61 for touchdowns, field goals. Then, of course, a 2-play drive, netted 5 yards, but it was a miscue by Mississippi State on the kickoff that allowed Oregon just to get a couple more plays before the half ended.
But Oregon totaled 240 yards in the first half, and Mississippi State's defense usually much tougher than that.
And Ontario Smith was over 100 yards in that first half.
They throw it, and the catch is made near the 22-yard line by Corey Banks. Banks just refused to let him get that first down. The Mississippi State's defense last year allowed 372 yards per game. Unheard of for the excellent defensive coordinator, Joe Lee Dunn. 215 yards passing last year they allowed, and 157 yards rushing, 4 yards per carry.
Well, but you got to remember, you know, numbers like that are staggering, but remember the conference. Remember the teams you're playing against.
Now Siegel from 39 just kind of pumps it right through, and he gives Oregon a 30-7 lead over Mississippi State.
One company brings new value to the way we communicate with smartphone technology that adds color to the wireless world. Fiber optic components that drive broadband internet service. And copiers that scan direct to email for instant communication around the globe. One company does all these things and more to keep you in touch with your world. One company. Kyocera.
Rated E for everyone. Welcome to NFL Fever 2003. Here it is. With a convoy. Watch the big man. Boom, shakalaka. Zips a pass over the middle. Wide open. Ball is up. He pushed it right. Swatted. Hello. Oh, my. NFL Fever 2003. Only on Xbox. For more gridiron action, play online with Xbox Live.
College Football Saturday on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Kyocera, one company, countless solutions. By Xbox. Visit Xbox.com. The future of video games has arrived. And by Nike. The University of Oregon. We are at Autzen Stadium. The Ducks with a 23-point lead over Mississippi State. There's that big offensive line. They really returned only one or two starters in Dan Weaver and Joey Forster, but they've done a heck of a job. Corey Chambers started at times last year.
Well, they've had guys that have started selected games across that whole front. They got 8 guys that are really experienced guys for 5 positions. That's pretty good. Neil Zimbukas, the offensive line coach, the great offensive line coach in his 23rd season. He's been through 7 coordinators, Steve. 7 good. He says, no sugar, Rams, for the offensive lineman. I said, no, I'll give him the sugar.
Well, here's the kick. And that wind is definitely behind Oregon because he blew that one through. Jared Siegel, 3 of 3 from field goals beyond 39 yards, all beyond 39 yards. Hey, this fall, get your NFL fix a day earlier with the most outrageous, unpredictable NFL pregame show you've ever seen. J.B. Terry and Howie kick off another NFL season. Joining them in week 1 will be their old friend Jimmy Johnson. He's won titles in both college and the pros. Now Jimmy will break down what Steve Spurrier has to do to win in Washington. Fox NFL Sunday returns September 8th only on Fox. Kyle York going downfield. Jenkins with a marvelous catch, and he's ridden out of bounds by Stephen Moore. Did he hold on?
Hey, I got one for you. You know what Jimmy Johnson on the Fox pregame show ought to say? How Spurrier, what should he do against the, who's going to stop him in that NFC East? Jimmy Johnson, defensive coordinator of the Eagles. Jimmy Johnson recruited me at Notre Dame. He's the defensive wizard of those Eagles.
Well, Florida's up 34-0 after Spurrier left, and Zook's taken over, and Grossman thrown for 306 yards in the first half alone, so nothing's changed with Gators. And now, Mississippi State getting it in the arms of Jenkins again.
Yeah, Rex Grossman may be the first player picked in next year's NFL draft.
How about the SEC and the Pac-10 with their quarterbacks? I mean, Carson Palmer, Cody Pickett, Jason Gesser in the Pac-10, and in the SEC, Grossman we talked about, but Casey Clausen and Eli Manning are 2 Heisman candidates as well.
Don't forget Green at Georgia with Mark Richt coaching him along the way.
Lefty. York on 3rd down. Well, he completed the pass, and it was right in the hands of Ray Bivens, but that is twice in the game that Bivens has tried to catch the football in his chest rather than with his hands.
Steve, that's a great throw by York because it's a timing route, and Bivens tell you, the ball was thrown effectively and really kind of put on his back number.
That penalty. Fourth down.
A hold penalty declined by the Ducks. They making the Bulldogs punt it away, but York, that's a timing throw, and if Bivens comes down with it, it's a first down.
Well, Kyle York has a wonderful future. He was their scout team quarterback, and they were just figuring maybe in time he could be the starter, but not right now. Kevin Fant is back home. He will be starting against Jacksonville State on September 14th. Fant, of course, did not play because of NCAA violations. On the return, Keenan Howery. Howery is to the 36-yard line, and one more time, Oregon will start with outstanding field position.
Well, you couldn't ask for anything more if you're breaking in some players. This is just a return up the middle. Keenan Howery, the playmaker for the Ducks, just takes it and bolts right up the middle, picks up some great blocks. A nice punt return. Last year, averaging almost 15 yards, 2 touchdowns, 8th in the nation. That's pretty darn good.
We had one in the scrimmage, I guess, last week that was a beauty. They have so much speed on Oregon. So much from the skill players and from the cornerbacks. And now, Fife looking downfield and throws over the head of Jason Willis. He was well covered by both the safety and the cornerback, Demetric Wright. Well, Keenan Howery, he's the guy who, in Times Square, last year was Joey Harrington, and this year it was Keenan Howery saying, we're back. I was in Times Square just last week with the Anaheim Angels and the New York Yankees, and I walked in and I go, wow, look at that. Keenan Howery in New York City.
Yeah.
And he's near the campus at USC, and I heard one writer say, you know, the cost of that poster was $40,000, but just to rub it in the faces of USC, priceless. That's what the writer said.
Ouch.
USC is going to be pretty good this year, but my goodness, Tom,
well,
what an aggressive non-conference schedule. Let's go down to the sideline to Lewis Johnson.
Hey, Steve, you guys are talking about Keenan Howery. I talked to him before the game and asked him about his new quarterback, Jason Fife. He told me he is just as confident with Fife as he was with Harrington. He said after 4 years, the guy knows the reads, and it was the best decision to put the ball in his hands. I also asked him if he felt confident going back to the huddle to sort of advise him at times if he thought so, and he said that would be great. It shouldn't be a problem, wouldn't create a problem for Fife's authority or affect his leadership as quarterback. Steve?
He is a gambler. That is what Joey Harrington said. Downfield he goes, and with the touchdown is Sammy Parker. He has an arm.
Steve, it's all a result of how they started the drive. You get a great punt return by Keenan Howery. All of a sudden, you got great field position. You can open up the playbook. You spin the ball, a little post route. Sammy Parker, great protection. I mean, you can't ask for more. That's a bold throw, too.
He rolls left, comes back, and almost, not completely with great footwork, throws a dart.
And Sammy Parker gets flagged for
over celebration.
How about that? The No Fun League. And I thought the NFL was the No Fun League, but now college football is becoming the No Fun League.
I strictly think, Rams, it should be no taunting, but this is not taunting.
This is
the
crowd. Listen, how old are these guys? 18, 19, 20 years old. They're having fun. Let them have fun. Okay, that's my pitch to Seth Dempsey, the head of the NCAA. I'll probably get the letter tomorrow. Thank goodness it's a long weekend, holiday weekend. No mail.
Hey, in the Fiesta Bowl, he had a glorious game. 9 for 162. A touchdown in the game from Joey Harrington. And that was his breakout game because Sammy with 41 total catches last year. And remember, he did that as a sophomore. The extra point is no good, so Siegel hits 3 from 39 and beyond, and then misses the extra point. Sammy Parker, you the man.
The Hertz Prestige Collection. Jaguar. Volvo. Lincoln, Land Rover.
The Hertz Prestige Collection. Does anyone but Hertz have a collection like this? Not exactly. The Best Damn Sports Show period's All-Star Summer. It's a special celebration featuring Shaquille O'Neal, Barry Bonds, Sammy Sosa, Kurt Warner, Keyshawn Johnson, Jeff Gordon, Matt Damon, The Counting Crows, and The Rock. I am so freaking excited, man. It's an outrageous summer-long spectacular.
You want some of Shaq food?
Huge stars, complete insanity. Best Damn's All-Star Summer. Weeknights at 8 and 11 on Fox Sports Net.
The Southern Sports Report.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
It's the nightly newscast you've been waiting for.
This is the real deal.
30 minutes every night dedicated to scores, highlights, and interviews from your hometown teams.
We told you it was going to be good.
Your teams, your town, your show. The Southern Sports Report, nightly at 10 on Fox Sports Net. You're watching Fox Sports Net.
Welcome back to Autzen Stadium. I'm Steve Physioc along with Tom Ramsey and Lewis Johnson. You're watching Pac-10 football action on Fox Sports Net as Mississippi State battles Oregon. Be sure to tune in next week for more college football action presented by Kyocera. It all starts at 11:30 in the morning with College Football Saturday's kickoff show at 3:30 Eastern. Fresno State takes on Oregon, followed by San Diego State and Colorado. Then at 10:15 Eastern, Colorado State takes on UCLA. It all begins here on Fox Sports Net at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Due to time constraints, we move ahead to further action right after this message.
America is traveling with Michelin. Right now, buy any 4 Michelin tires and get a Samsonite wheeled carry-on upright and the new Michelin North America Road Atlas free, a value of over $120. Just call 1-888-MICHELIN for your nearest participating Michelin dealer and get rolling. But hurry, this offer ends October 5th.
We're gonna need a dog door.
And a fence.
And a tile floor.
Hardwoods.
There's no better time to tackle a big project than this Labor Day weekend. Open a Home Depot consumer credit card account now through Labor Day and get an additional 10% off your initial purchase. Plus, get no payments or interest for 6 months. Going on now through Labor Day. Only at the Home Depot and Expo Design Center.
JB, Terry, and Howie welcome Jimmy Johnson back for a special reunion of the pregame team that started it all off. America's #1 pregame show returns next weekend.
One company brings new value to the way we communicate with smartphone technology that adds color to the wireless world. Fiber optic components that drive broadband internet service. And copiers that scan direct to email for instant communication around the globe. One company does all these things and more to keep you in touch with your world. One company, Kyocera.
Hey guys, let's not forget, man, this is the NFL show. And the NFL's hardcore, so we must stay hardcore.
That's right.
You know, Tom, you've been out here the longest. You gotta make sure that, you know, me and Michael don't get caught up in that Hollywood stuff, you know?
You can count on me. If you guys fall off the wayside, just let me know, man.
Mike, I think I'm gonna get the, either the polish or the clear. No, just get a nice buff.
Hey, guys, how about a bikini wax next?
Ooh. The NFL Show with Irvin, Saragusa, and Davidson premieres September 7th.
All-American candidate Ontario Smith with 106 yards rushing in the ball game, and Oregon with a 36-7 lead. And that takes us to our Xbox trivia question. Who was the first Oregon player ever to rush for 100 yards in a game? Here's the hint. He was later a successful NCAA coach, so we'll give you the answer later in the game. Right now, it's Ontario over 100 yards rushing, and he will muscle for 2, so give him 108 yards rushing now in the ball game.
You know, speaking of muscling for 2, Steve, you know, Ontario Smith, talking to Jim Radcliffe, the strength and conditioning coach of the Oregon Ducks, they've improved that part of the facility also. They got a new weight room. But it is so amazing. Ontario, pound for pound, 204 pounds. He is powerful in the weight room. I mean, I'm telling you, they got some guys that are doing things that it's frightening, pound for pound.
Smith, left side. To the 22-yard line. Needs to get to the 25 for a first down. Mario Hagan on the tackle. But there's Smith over 110 yards rushing now. And he pops Hagan the side of the helmet.
You know, durability is everything for a running back, though. You see, and it's tough. You know, living in Colorado, Terrell Davis, one of the great running backs, I think, in the NFL scene, had to retire this year. Or actually, he's not retiring. He's on IR this year, but an imminent retirement.
He said
party.
so long.
Yeah, they kind of have so long to him. But I hope somehow he could come back. I doubt he will, but it's just the wear and tear on the body. I mean, the fields they play on now, and Oregon has a new turf field. Looks like a pass went incomplete.
It did. Keenan Howery thought he was able to grab it, but pulling it off the turf, so it's incomplete. And this will be the first punt of the game by Oregon. They have dominated that line of scrimmage on both sides. Mississippi State with only one scoring drive, an 80-yard drive to end the first half. And here is Jose Arroyo. Jose saying, I got no TV time. And Mike Bellotti loves that. Nick Turner is the return man near the 32. Jose Arroyo averaged almost 39 yards per punt last year. Got a chance to get a career best with this win. Nope. Fair catch at the 33. His career best was 58.
You're like the guy that hexes the people at the golf range when it comes to the long
I
drive
talk about
hole.
No hitters in the second inning.
Yeah, the long drive hole at the golf range. Wind behind. Hey, Tom, you're going to get a long drive this time, aren't you? Roll, roll, roll.
Shank.
Top it. Thanks, Steve.
Well, I'm just figuring, you know, he's got a nice wind behind him. I mean, it's ripping like 15 miles an hour. And it had, look at Jose, he's even upset. I had a chance for a career best, and I didn't hit it well.
What's interesting about this field, though, they got the field turf this year. They got the third different kind of surface in this stadium in 3 years. So they've gone through some fake grass recently.
Fred Reed with the carry, and Fred gets absolutely nothing. You take a look at Oregon winning and going to the Fiesta Bowl last year, but the parity in the Pac-10 is unbelievable. I mean, look at the champions the last 7 years. 7 different champs.
Pretty amazing. And when you think about the quarterbacks who have led those respective teams, you've had Jake Plummer, you had Ryan Leaf, you had Cade McNown, you had Todd Husak, I mean, Joey Harrington. You got some guys now.
Seniors.
A lot of seniors.
York throws incomplete. It'll be now 3rd down and 10 yards to go for Mississippi State. And of course, you'll have a chance to watch Oregon play again next week when they take on Fresno State. And UCLA will host a very good Colorado State team that beat Colorado today 19-14. And how about the game prior to us? Iowa State's pretty good. They almost beat Florida State, and then they pounded KU today 45-3.
Yeah, I forgot to mention Marcus Tuiasosopo.
That's part of the triple header for Fox Sports Net. Marcus quarterbacking the Oakland Raiders. I think he's their future. York throws, and it is almost intercepted by Stephen Moore. Intended for Justin Jenkins, so it is 3 and out. But it's almost not fair for Mississippi State. We're really looking forward to watching Kevin Fant, who is a terrific quarterback, loves the state of Mississippi, and he'll have a chance to make his first start of the year against Jacksonville State. You think he'll be chomping at the bit?
I think he will be. Watching the film on Kevin Fant,
he's good.
He's got a lot of big-time potential. You know, and I think Kyle York, I think it's a 2-horse race. Now, I think when things happen sometimes, when it allows for opportunities, Kyle York hasn't played bad. It's just their team hasn't been able to control the line of scrimmage.
Howery goes down at the 34-yard line. You know what I like about Kevin Fant? There's flags all over the place. A lot of pushing and a shoving on the field. Mississippi State very unhappy with the way they have opened in this game. And Mike Bellotti wants to talk to one of his youngsters who mixed it up first. Meantime, there is a Bulldog down on the field, and that is Bernard Vinson.
Well, you know, people are upset. You don't want to see tempers flare. Keenan Howery, though, see, he gets hammered pretty good. And then what happened? Kind of broke. I think the action kind of happened away from the play there.
Personal foul on the return team, and dead ball, personal foul on the kicking team. Penalties canceled. First down.
Jackie Sherrill, Mike Bellotti, both a little upset about the discipline by their teams on that play. But Tom, I was talking about Kevin Fant. Do you know who he roots for outside of Mississippi State? Ole Miss.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you and I.
No. Let's take a look at the all-22 here.
Oh, Vincent was a guy. He might be one of the gunners on the outside. Out here, or he's in here. Anyway, they're going to come down, and what happens is I kind of noticed that they were getting blocked up top. Yeah, right there. One of the players gets taken down, and then the flag came out, and then they, you know, anytime you hit the ground flat on your back, it's not a fun feeling. It's not a fun feeling. There's a bit of embarrassment that goes along with it, so you get up swinging.
Vincent now to the sideline, and Oregon back on offense. But just to finish that on Kevin Fant, I mean, one of the great rivalries in college football is Ole Miss and Mississippi State, and Fant pulled for him, and his story is, I'm from Mississippi. I'm proud of the two schools. I want to see both of them do well, except for one day, November 28th.
Except for the Egg Bowl, that's right.
Exactly. Jason Fife has had a pretty good game in his first college start.
Oh, he sure has. They were able to find out they could run the football with Jason Fife early on with some option. Then he has a little wide drag underneath George Reister in for the touchdown. And once again, you see what Oregon does, Steve. They've moved the pocket, allowed Fife more time to throw. You can't get a beat on the quarterback if you're a defensive lineman. And he's put up great numbers, 11 for 20, 136, 3 touchdowns. More importantly, 0 INTs.
Now Ontario Smith for a 3-yard gain up near the 40-yard line. Ontario with 118 yards rushing now. 5.5 to play in the third quarter.
Well, if you're Oregon right now, too, you'd like to be able to keep the ball on the ground. You really don't want to throw it a whole lot more. You want the clock to run, although with a 3rd and 6, right now, you may be apt to run maybe a little boot, maybe another wide drag.
They're throwing. Over the middle she goes, and Reister, with his 3rd catch of the game, is the first down near the 47-yard line. Well, we talked with Jason Fife about replacing the great Oregon quarterback, Joey Harrington.
Most quarterbacks have to deal with it. It's just harder to deal with it when it's someone that was a legend, especially in this school. My teammates have made it really easy on me, though. You know, they've recognized that it's a new season. I'm a new quarterback. I'm a different style of a quarterback, and they're confident with me. I'm confident with them, and that's all that's really important.
And he is a very confident, fun-loving kid. I mean, he even said, if Joey Harrington was Joe College, then I'm Mr. Have Fun and experience as much as possible kind of guy.
You know what's interesting? Both schools in the state of Oregon, Steve, last night, Derek Anderson up at Oregon State, Dennis Erickson's team, the Beavers, they recruit a little different player. They're both very competitive teams. I think both are extremely well coached, the Ducks and the Beavers. But last night, Derek Anderson taking over for Jonathan Smith, who's had a great run as a Beaver quarterback, who now is an assistant coach on Dennis Erickson's staff. Anderson only threw for 350 yards and a couple TDs, so he got off to a good start. So all these guys that are following these big-time Oregon and Oregon State quarterbacks, they're making a name for themselves right now in the national scene.
And right behind Jason Fife is Kellen Clemens. when Anderson came out, Clemens came out at the same time, and those are two top QBs from the Pacific Northwest, and they stayed in state.
And the third out of the state of Oregon that year was Nick Costa, who's now with John Makovic at the University of Arizona. 3 guys out of the state of Oregon. A lot of quarterbacks come off the West Coast.
There's the screen. Smith past the 40, past the 30, to the 25. He fumbles, and Mississippi State has it. Josh Morgan with the cover, Jason Clark with the strip, and the Bulldogs have stopped Ontario.
Well, Jason Clark, if he indeed did get the strip, he was working at getting it. Oregon's a great screen team. You see Ontario Smith, how good he is once he catches the ball, but keep the ball tucked away. Now, Mario Hagan, number 98, was the one that swatted the ball out of Ontario Smith's hand. Watch, if we can slow it down right at the end. Watch, here comes Mario Hagan, 98. All SEC linebacker. I tell you, he's got a great nose for the ball, and there to make the play. Morgan there to scoop it up.
Now the crowd picks up as Oregon on defense. Kyle York firing. Almost intercepted. Keith Lewis in the area. Garrett Graham, number 42 there.
And Steve, I got to say, Mario Hagan, here's a guy, you know, is he frustrated? Sure, but did you see his hustle going down the field chasing Ontario Smith? And I was so impressed with the young man yesterday. He's a sports broadcasting major. We sat around and talked to him. And I said, hey, keep ducking those offensive linemen. I said, you got a nice career in front of you.
He is a big linebacker, too, at 6'3", 253 pounds. York completes at the 30. Fumble. Oregon has it at the 31. David Moretti.
Well, you see how fast the tables can turn. That Oregon defense, led by those hitters, Kevin Mitchell, Dave Moretti, the linebackers. Keith Lewis right there, the free safety. He gets the strip. Moretti gets the recovery. McEwen right there again helping out his buddy Moretti. Well, I tell you, this defense is only going to get better, too. They secured one of the top recruits in all the nation, Haloti Ngata, out of Salt Lake City. And Ngata, of course,
Ngata even playing.
Ngata not playing this week, a sore back, but he'll be up, dialed in next week.
Fight to Parker, incomplete. It's a heck of a throw, though. He split those two defenders and gave Sammy a chance.
And Steve, when I tell you, you know, this whole national presence thing, you get an eye on recruits when they see this offense, they see the ball getting thrown down the field just like that. I mean, that's a heck of a throw right there now. Low and away, threw it in a good spot, but when you get guys like Ngata out of Salt Lake City, Utah, and he had committed to BYU, he decommitted, came to Oregon. I'm sure not a lot of people happy there, but he's happy. He's happy to be a Duck, and he's excited to get on the field one of these days.
They will run up the middle. Short gain. But that's the one thing that interests me about when you're in areas rather remote. Not a lot of the recruiting and scouting machines out there see Oregon, and they're always ranked down 25th, sometimes even 30th. And you go, well, then where do they get these Keenan Howrys and Sammy Parkers and Ontario Smiths and George Reisters, who aren't that highly ranked? I mean, how about Jason Fife? Only 2 schools wanted him, Fresno State and Oregon. Here's Fife again. Reister almost grabbed it at the 5-yard line.
Do you want I'll tell you why they're so good. Their personnel evaluations amongst their staff of coaches, Mike Bellotti, Nick Aliotti, Don Pelham, Steve Greatwood, Neil Zambucas, Andy Ludwig. You got these guys, you got experienced staff guys who've been together for a long time. Andy Ludwig, who's the new offensive coordinator, came from Fresno State, just got done coaching Dave Carr, worked with Pat Hill, one of the top coaches in the land. He comes in, it's a seamless transition.
From 48, it is blocked. It's picked off by Fife. He wants to throw, and he throws it away. But still, Oregon has a 36-7 lead. I also think it's because a lot of those recruiting services are East Coast evaluators, and they don't see some of the great talent that's out in the West.
Well, you know what? East and West. Take a look. As this ball gets bad, it came from right in the middle. I believe it's number 20, Michael Goller. And Steve, Michael Goller is a great story, 6'5" player, free safety, who was a Mississippi State basketball player. He came out right around spring football. Goller, look at him, 6.2 points, 6.5 rebounds, and some change there. Boy, he skied to get up and block that one.
He was a former All-State quarterback in high school. So Mississippi State takes over at their own 31. York still in at quarterback. Fred Reed spun right into the arms of an Oregon Duck, and look how far they push him back. Garrett Graham got there first, and Garrett almost ran him back to the 5-yard line.
Well, you know, sometimes you just don't hear the whistle. Sometimes you ought to hear the whistle. But I think, you know, Steve, going back to the recruiting services, recruiting is everywhere now. With you know, the internet space, you can go anywhere, anytime, and get any evaluation you want.
They swing it to the left side, and Mississippi State running that football up the field, and it is Jarius Norwood, the true freshman from Brandon, Mississippi, on the catch. I mean,
that's the first time they've run the wheel screen right there. It's just kind of it's a safe throw, obviously, because you're not throwing the ball down the field. As long as you complete it behind the line of scrimmage, you can get a lead blocker out in front, put a little pressure on the corner, but at least it makes for a short third down. Four wides for the Bulldogs.
3rd and 2. First down, past midfield.
Nice call.
Nick Turner, that true freshman from Atlanta. They really love these two true freshmen, Nick Turner and Jarius Norwood. They've had great summer camps.
Well, that's one of the advantages. You know, when a team does go 3-8, guess what? You got some needs and you have some opportunities. So true freshmen go, hey, you know, I can go in there and help these guys.
First down from the 47 of Oregon. York scrambling, going deep. Intercepted. Keith Lewis past the 20. He turned around, Rams, and almost found the football in his hands.
Yeah, and he one-handed it. How good a play was that? He ends up one-handing the ball. What a great play. Down the middle, York puts it out in front. Lewis one-hands it, grabs it. Actually, he ducks a bullet right there. He almost got nailed from behind. He had eyes at the back of his helmet. Good read there. Look at this. Look at this. Great camera once again. Oh, man. Great look of Keith Lewis. And I tell you, even though you got young corners out there, you got two experienced safeties in Keith Lewis and Rasuli Webster, and two guys that are experienced and playing in big games, and boy, that can help you out down the road.
Now Oregon running that football, and they get past the 20-25-yard line. Josh Morgan a little worried, but when we were talking with Nick Aliotti earlier this week, the defensive coordinator for Oregon, I said, what is your #1 concern? And he says, they're great wide receivers against our young DBs. Losing Rashad Bowman and Stephen Smith, that will be the #1 question mark all year long. They have played well, but next week they get Fresno State and a good offensive system and a new quarterback, Jeff Grady, who's pretty good against Wisconsin. That'll be on Fox Sports Net.
Well, Jeff Grady's very similar to what Jason Fife has experienced. He's been in the system. He understands the system. He played behind a great player. And you know what? When you play behind a great player, you can learn from a great player. You watch how David Carra, Joey Harrington operate, execute, how they lead. Makes it a little easier when you do step in.
Did you hear where Jeff's brother, Tommy, who you saw at the Elite 11, signed to, or gave a verbal commitment to go to Oklahoma. How about that?
Did he really? Well, Oklahoma.
I know you like Tommy Grady.
I like Oklahoma too.
Yeah. They're going to be very good this year. They just pounded their opponent for their first win of the year.
A lot of people like Oklahoma, though. I know Bob Stoops loves Oklahoma.
And Mike Bellotti loves the way the Oregon Ducks are playing.
One company brings value to your life in more ways than you can imagine. With high-performance components that power the technologies you can't live without. From sophisticated satellite communications to high-reliability medical devices that make life worth living longer. One company makes components for all these things and more to improve our quality of life. One company. Kyocera.
When you sign up for any AT&T wireless calling plan starting at $19.99 a month, you can get a Nokia 3360 for only $29.99 after mail-in rebate. That's M-Life from AT&T Wireless. Hurry in or call today.
Hey, you win! Everyone wins during the Good Stuff giveaway at Rent-A-Center. There's lots of prizes, like new name brand DVD players, computers, home theater systems, HD big screen TVs.
Whoa!
Or free rent on anything in the store, up to 3 weeks free when you pay a week. Hurry into Rent-A-Center to play and win. For the nearest store, call 1-800-205-2005. The Good Stuff giveaway won't last long, so hurry in, because everyone wins at Rent-A-Center.
Someone's developed a micro device.
Created to be the perfect killer.
Injectable. One touch of a button, you can give a head a state of heart attack.
It will take 2 extreme agents to stop it. Antonio Banderas, Agent X.
That's how I deal with stress.
Lucy Liu, Agent Sever.
My turn.
Ballistic, X versus Sever. This feature is not yet rated. Starts Friday, September 20th.
When you sign up for any AT&T wireless calling plan starting at $19.99 a month, you can get a Nokia 3360 for only $29.99 after mail-in rebate. That's M-Life from AT&T Wireless. Hurry in or call today.
They're going wild at Oregon. The Ducks with a 36-7 lead over Mississippi State. Steve Physioc along with Tom Ramsey. We asked the question that the fans were asking at the beginning of the year. Is there life after Joey Harrington? Jason Fife says yes.
Well, I really believe so. He's done such a great job in the execution of the offense, Steve. And like I said early on, I really believe this offense is a bit foolproof. And it's because it has so many opportunities for great players to make plays.
Like Sammy Parker, who makes the catch out to the 35-yard line. Just a short gain on the play. But with Jason Fife going now, and this game entering the fourth quarter, we may get a chance to see that redshirt freshman Kellen Clemens, who was All-State a couple of years ago and one of the finest quarterbacks in Oregon history. The only player that year in the state to get Parade All-American. But he's on the sideline right now, and Fife is the man. Jason handing off. And with the run, Allen Amundsen. First down. Here's our Home Depot game summary. Fife with 3 scoring passes. Ontario Smith, 124 yards rushing. York in his debut, not bad, but my goodness, it's his first time in a college game after being the scout team quarterback last year. It was tough for Kyle York to come to Autzen and try and win this football game.
It was an uphill battle yesterday.
And on the first play of the game, he throws a perfect pass. His receiver drops it. There's a penalty, so he's looking at 1st and 25. Let's go down to the sideline to Lewis Johnson.
Steve, thanks a lot. You know, I noticed earlier in the game in the first quarter, trainers paying attention to Ontario Smith's right hamstring. Well, just a few minutes ago, I watched them drop a bag of ice down inside his pants on the right hamstring, and then you'll see here they're wrapping that up. Trainers have told me that it's nothing serious. They don't have anything specific, but Ontario Smith is done for the day. They'll just protect him for the rest of the season. Steve?
Oh, absolutely. They've got Fresno State next week and some very good opponents on their schedule. Idaho, then Portland State, then at Arizona, at UCLA. I mean, that's October 5 and October 12. You start the Pac-10 season away from Autzen Stadium. That's where Jason Fife is going to have to really grow up and gain some experience.
Yeah, to play your first 2 conference games on the road, a little bit of difficulty there. Mike Belotti's done very well in home openers to start the season. He won the last 9 home openers dating back to '93, and Autzon's one of the toughest places to play. As Joey Harrington said, it doesn't look like a huge stadium compared to some of the places you play. If you go to Tennessee or you go to Michigan or you're down in the Rose Bowl, and it gets awfully loud in some of these places, but it's the proximity of the fans in relationship to the players. They're right on top of you, and this place, as you know from being here, we could barely hear each other at times, and we're a foot away from each other.
It's like Lambeau Field, or at Notre Dame, the crowd is right on top of the action. Nick Turner. It was a cold day in Green Bay, the frozen tundra. Turner standing near his 17-yard line. Fumbles it, but covers it, and Mississippi State will still have it. Down by plenty, 36-7. We've got a timeout on the field, 12:39 to play. The Ducks 36, the Bulldogs 7.
I am fast, so fast. I can make this car do anything, anywhere, on any track. A big screaming oval. Or a super tight city street. It doesn't matter. Faster right here. Or late break, right there.
In the cold and wet.
The hot and dry. It doesn't matter. My team, my car. Mine. My reflexer.
Oh, faster. Faster.
Faster. Faster. Faster. You know it.
And I know it.
And that's all that matters.
On the next Beyond the Glory, Michael Irvin's superstar lifestyle almost ruined a Hall of Fame career.
I don't know anything about anything.
Living the high life
He was caught up in the money, the women, the drugs.
and in constant trouble.
Why does this stuff keep happening to you?
But a brush with death made him turn things around. I was so afraid of that pain. Playmaker or troublemaker? Michael Irvin, Beyond the Glory, tomorrow at 8 on Fox Sports Net.
The last word.
Oh no, here we go again. Electrifying, gravity-defying, mesmerizing. Oh wait, there's more. Things are heating up. A lot of smack, a lot of controversy. Welcome to the jungle. I am all over this. I am all over that.
The last word, reinventing sports talk as you know it. Weeknights on Fox Sports Net.
Oregon has a 36-7 lead on Mississippi State. This fall, get your NFL fix a day earlier with the most outrageous, unpredictable NFL pregame show you've ever seen. Introducing the NFL show on Fox Sports Net with Michael Irvin, Tony Siragusa, and comedian Tommy Davidson. Pregame shows may never be the same, so start your NFL weekend the night before kickoff with the NFL show premiering Saturday, September 7th on Fox Sports Net. Kyle York back in, throws a little too late. Jenkins is already out of bounds, and then he dropped that football. So you see that scoreboard, a 27-0 lead by Oregon, and then Mississippi State scored at the last drive. They had the football in the second quarter. Oregon came up with 9 in the third, and now they're on defense, and Jackie Sherrill facing a 2nd and 10. Jackie's Bulldogs will be playing Jacksonville State in 2 weeks. Then they'll be home to Auburn. Then they travel to LSU. SEC is tough. York underneath. This is one of their biggest offensive plays of the game. Justin Jenkins for a first down out near the 38-yard line. I mean, through 3 quarters, Oregon had 334 yards, total offense to 119. Our Xbox trivia question, who was the first Oregon player ever to rush for 100 yards in a game? He was a great coach. John McKay in 1948 did it. Wow. And here he was, a coach at Oregon.
I wondered who that was.
John McKay, who went on to win so many national championships for USC. Now they're trying to get back to the glory days with Pete Carroll. I like their chances this year. Carson Palmer's a fifth-year senior, and he's finally got some support with the running game with Justin Fargas and McCullough.
Polamalu on defense, one of the best defenders in the country.
We'll be right back.
Show period's All-Star Summer. It's a special celebration featuring Shaquille O'Neal,
Barry Bonds,
Sammy Sosa,
Kurt Warner,
Keyshawn Johnson,
Jeff Gordon,
Matt Damon,
The Counting Crows,
and The Rock. I am so freaking excited, man. It's an outrageous summer-long spectacular.
You want some of Shaq food?
Huge stars, complete insanity. Best Dam's All-Star Summer. Weeknights at 8 and 11 on Fox Sports Net. Southern Sports Report.
Thank you, thank you, thank you!
It's the nightly newscast you've been waiting for.
This is The Real Deal.
30 minutes every night dedicated to scores, highlights, and interviews from your hometown teams.
We told you it was going to be good.
Your teams, your town, your show. The Southern Sports Report, nightly at 10 on Fox Sports Net. You're watching Fox Sports Net.
College Football Saturday on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Kyocera, one company, countless solutions. By Nissan and your Nissan dealer. And by Xbox. Visit Xbox.com. The future of video games has arrived. Mississippi State on offense, 1st and 10. York rolling left, and now he is pounded down at the 35-yard line. David Moretti, the middle linebacker. Kid from Pleasanton, California, shows good speed. He is their fastest linebacker.
You know, Steve, the linebackers are playing a little further off the ball this year, and I think it gives them an opportunity with the progress of the defensive line. Linebackers take a little extra step off the ball. They're able to read and react right here along that line. They're able to read and react. Pursuit is the name of the game in defense, and they use their speed. They just track them down and run them down.
Underneath, Mississippi State up near another first down. They might be a bit shy by about a yard. It'll be 3rd down and 1, it looks like, as Fred Reed came underneath for the reception. Rams next week, we've got UCLA hosting Colorado State. That's going to be a heck of a game. The Bruins won their first 6 games last year to rise to number 4 in the nation, but then they kind of crumbled, lost 4 straight, and lost to USC, and were knocked out of the bowl picture. So they've got something to prove this year.
Well, and we worked that game. They were 6-0. We went and worked one of their games, and we worked one of their games at the end of the year, and it was 2 different teams.
Well, batted down by the offense. Terrell Grindle had it in his hands and looked like a defender. They're knocking it down.
And Grindle, here's a guy who came into the game over 1,000 career yards receiving. Last year had 40 catches, 463 yards, no TDs, but boy, sometimes a concentration factor. You just want to get that first down. They'll go for it here on 4th down.
4th and 1. Crowd picks up. York in trouble, and down he goes, shy of the first down marker.
Devin Long, redshirt freshman, there to make the hit, Steve. And you know, the crowd just kind of got into it all of a sudden. Here comes Big Green after Kyle York and just shutting down all the passing lanes. You see him looking in the when all of a sudden your passing lane shut down, you just can't get the vision down the field that's required enough for a first down, and ends up taking a sack, and they got to give the ball up after 4th down here.
So Oregon's offense takes over. You know, we haven't talked that much about Razuli Webster and Keith Lewis, and those were the guys who Nick Aliotti said had to get the cornerbacks in the right spot, and they've done a wonderful job. Now it's Kellen Clemens, the new quarterback, and immediately a flag goes flying. Did they take too much time to get Kellen out there?
I believe so. I believe so.
Well, this is the kid we were talking about earlier. Kellen Clemens, 6'2", 212, a redshirt freshman from Burns, Oregon. The only player in the state when he graduated from high school to get Parade All-American. He was the Oregon High School MVP, throwing for over 3,000 yards and 37 touchdowns. He was also All-State as a safety. And he hands the ball off to Alan Amundsen, or rather Terrence Whitehead, the true freshman from Crenshaw High School in L.A. Here are the Pac-10 standings from a year ago, and Oregon won it 7-1 over Washington State, Stanford, and Washington. That is one great race.
And Steve, the two top teams, Oregon and Washington State, they ended up having stellar bowl seasons. Washington State beat Purdue. Oregon beat Colorado. They finished the season, 10-plus wins. That's awfully darn impressive. And Washington, of course, had a shootout with Texas. They get in a lot of shootouts. But like you said, there's a lot of good quarterbacks.
Well, there's Joey down the field with Jason Fife.
See, he couldn't stay away from the field. He came up here just to talk to us for a little bit.
Joey said he was so nervous watching the team that, he led to so many victories. His record as a starter, 25 wins, only 3 losses. You know what? And he's the epitome of a student athlete. I would see him at college basketball games wearing a wig, cheering for his Ducks. Almost picked off. Corey Banks had it and had a lot of green in front of him.
And that's why they put Kellen Clemens in the game, get him some time against some really good players, because Corey Banks almost took that one to the house.
Well, look at the system, and it works. Graziano made it to the NFL. Ryan Perry-Smith, we saw Jason Moss throw for over 450 yards against Stanford, and then about 2 weeks later, a guy named Achilles Smith replaced him and went on to All-American status. A.J. Feely, he's playing for the Eagles, and Harrington with the Lions. It's the system. Got to go get the athletes, though.
Yeah, well, you got to have, going back to that personnel evaluation, what this offense and what the Oregon Duck football side of the operation is about, Steve, is that you can get players that fit a certain mold. I mean, Kevin Mitchell might not play for the USC Trojans, but I'll tell you what, although Pete Carroll would find a place for him, but in this system, they know the type of athlete they need for a certain position, and I believe that has a lot to do with the continuity on the staff. They've had coaches on the staff for 10 to 20 years, very experienced coaching staff, and they get along. They really everyone gets along, and I think it's fostered by Mike Bellotti. He just really believes that, it's so important. Kevin Mitchell, look at him right there, and I called him Minnie Urlacher. I went up to him before the game. I said, I'm going to call you Minnie Urlacher on the air. Is that okay? Didn't want him to get mad. Didn't want his mom to get mad.
And his reaction was?
Yeah, I kind of like that.
Who wouldn't?
So I said, good, I'll go with that.
Justin Griffith on the carry, just a short gain, but 2 schools. Washington almost won at Michigan today. That's a heck of a program. Cody Pickett, the Huskies returned 15 starters, including Cody, who threw for over 2,400 yards last year in 7 games before going down with that separated shoulder. He's one tough competitor.
Well, and Cody Pickett's a guy who had to follow Marcus Tuiasosopo. Not an easy job when you follow these guys that put up such spectacular numbers. And, but again, the system there, Rick Neuhauser has a great staff of coaches. Keith Gilbertson, there's all kinds of guys. Look at the teams in the top 25. Washington State, Mike Price has a great team this year. Everybody take a good look. Washington State, Oregon, Pete Carroll has a good team. Carson Palmer. Oregon, of course. You know what's interesting about Oregon? You look at the AP preseason poll right after this 3rd down. Hold on one sec.
On 3rd down and 1, they get stuffed again. Keith Lewis is the man who stuffed him before, and he gets him again coming from his free safety spot.
Hey, Steve, when you look at preseason polls, okay, the teams that are up top, you got Florida State, Tennessee, Oklahoma, let's see, Texas, and
Florida, Miami.
Okay. Miami's one. So 4 of the top 5 are what? Previous national champs. Thank you. So this goes back to this big business thing. Big perception thing. If you're a national champ, you deserve to be in the top 4 or 5. Of course you do. This is a bomb punt.
It hits at the 1, goes into the end zone. What a heck of a kick. 58 yards by the punter for Mississippi State, Jared Cook.
Okay, so to win a national championship, you're going to get an AP. But in the BCS formula, you got to be in the top 10. I really believe this. So how good is a team like Washington State? How good is Washington? How good is Oregon? Oregon finished the season number 2, and they start out the season number 15?
You know,
Come
Washington
on.
State, they have to take on Ohio State.
Yeah, they
the
do.
Buckeyes are really good this year.
And you know the nice thing about playing an SEC team it's good for Mississippi State. It's good for Oregon because I asked Jackie Sherrill this. You're going to have some gauge on how good your team is because when you play the better teams in the country, and Oregon is an elite team, you're going to find out how good you are. Quick.
Now Oregon running the football and carrying it is Terrence Whitehead, the true freshman from Los Angeles. Well, he had a great summer camp as well. Ontario Smith is a junior. Alan Amundsen is a senior. And Whitehead might be their next great runner. Always been able to go to the JC system and been able to pick it up. But Washington State and Ohio State, if they are somehow able to get by the Buckeyes, look at the kind of season they could have because they have a lot of favorable home games, including getting Oregon at Washington State on November 9th this year.
I love the games between the power conferences. I really do. I just think it's good for the college football fans across America. It's good for us. It's good for everybody.
And no conference is more aggressive with their scheduling than the Pac-10. I mean, look at USC, Auburn, Colorado, Kansas State.
Well, and to be fair, we talked about the disbursements that the SEC schools receive. The Pac-10 has, in the same ballpark as those disbursements, a lot of big numbers going to the institutions in terms of dollars. The record by Pac-10 teams over the last couple of years, 2001. These are non-conference games, of course, 24-9 a year ago.
Let's go down to the sideline to Lewis Johnson.
Hey, Steve, here's a fun story. You know, during the summer, it's not strange for players to stay at school and work out together or build for next season. But, you know, how do they bond away from the weight room and practice? Well, at Oregon, the offensive linemen have this tradition right here, tubing down the Willamette River, which runs right through Eugene. It's kind of a new tradition. They've been doing it for about 5 years, but look at that. Man, I wouldn't mind going out right now for a splash on the tube. What about you guys?
Absolutely. I mean, that is so much fun. I'm so used to whitewater river rafting in the state of California. It's beautiful.
And you thought I canoed. That right there, my friends, Mississippi State 16 rush yards. And, you know, to control the clock, to control the game, you have to be able to rush the football. At the end of the day, Nick Aliotti, the defensive coordinator for Oregon, the first thing he wants to do on the agenda, stop the run. Well, he did a good job of it today.
16 yards, and Ontario Smith leading the way for Oregon with 124. Kellen Clemens fumbles the football, and he has struggled in replacing Jason Fife as Terrence Whitehead never was able to get connected with that football.
Now, the first thing you have to do, new quarterback, you come in the game, secure the football. No lawn bowling. Not allowed. Not allowed. Keep the ball off the ground. Been
long afternoon for Mississippi State.
For those guys, hasn't it?
It is second down and very long, 29 yards to go for Kellen Clemens.
How about a draw play?
You think?
Yeah.
Well, they're going to run Whitehead, and it's smelled out beautifully by Mississippi State. That'll make it third down and about 33 yards to go for Kellen Clemens.
Another loss on the play.
But Andy Ludwig really likes the development of Kellen Clemens. He was saying they added more plays in the spring, and Kellen slipped in his progress, but he said in the last 10 days of summer camp, he's really come on quickly. He's starting to understand what we're trying to do offensively. There's an injured Mississippi State Bulldog, and it looks like it is the right shoulder for Jason Clark, the junior from Starkville, Mississippi.
Yeah, Kellen Clemens, Steve, his progress in fall camp just in the last week or so has been tremendous. And, you know, in terms of Andy Ludwig and his involvement, I mean, he kind of joked with Mike Bellotti. He said, you know, well, I guess you could have gotten Jason Fife some reps last year. I don't think so.
9 attempts. You know, for as good as Oregon was last year, they didn't blow out too many opponents. They had a lot of close games.
No, and let's talk about Oregon for a second. I asked Mike Bellotti, I said, look, you're the only team in America that's improved their record year after year for the last 5 years. There's one more rung on the ladder. You've gone from 7 wins to 11 wins. Mike, what do you do? He goes, Tom, he goes, we have unfinished business, okay? That's the mantra this year, unfinished business. The Ducks improvement, look at that.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Just like they count them up in 4th grade. And Bellotti watched 12.
One company brings new value to the way we communicate. With smartphone technology that adds color to the wireless world. Fiber optic components that drive broadband internet service. And copiers that scan direct to email for instant communication around the globe. One company does all these things and more to keep you in touch with your world. One company. Kyocera.
Rated E for everyone. Welcome to NFL Fever 2003. Here it is. With a convoy. Watch the big man. Boom, shakalaka. Zips a pass over the middle. Got him. Wide open. Ball is up. He pushed it right. Swatted. Oh, hello. Oh, my. NFL Fever 2003, only on Xbox. For more gridiron action, play online with Xbox Live.
America is traveling with Michelin. Right now, buy any 4 Michelin tires and get a Samsonite wheeled carry-on upright and the new Michelin North America Road Atlas free, a value of over $120. Visit MichelinMan.com for your nearest participating Michelin dealer and get rolling. But hurry, this offer ends October 5th.
Five minutes to go in this football game. It is all Oregon all day long, 36-7. They won the Pac-10 last year. And this season, the early choice is Washington State. Mike Bryson's statement was, it took them 41 years to get it right. They finally picked the Cougars, preseason favorites. He's the best.
He's pretty darn good. They're pretty darn good, I'll tell you that.
Yes, they are. And there's the punt. It'll be touched at the 48-yard line. Mississippi State will have it at that point. Let's go to our College Football Saturday studio for a game break with Chris Rose.
Thanks, Steve. It's Chris Sims' team in Texas. So many studs down there like Cedric Benson just plowing in from 2 yards out. Number 3 Longhorns all over North Texas right now in the first half. Meanwhile, look at here. Duke snaps the nation's longest losing streak in the nation at 23 games with the win over the Pirates at East Carolina. Right now, back to a pair of winners, Steve and Tom.
That surprised me. I thought East Carolina was going to be a little better than that.
What do we owe Chris for saying that, though?
Yep.
Man. Well, hey, Duke's a basketball school anyway. I'll probably get letters now.
Yep.
Well, I lived with
pretty good
Steve Visiak in
school.
California. Send all your cards and letters. Hey, I tell you what, Texas, though, you know, for some reason, I don't know why people get after Chris Sims. People are, you know, the critics out there, they want to take shots at a guy, okay? Let's face it, the guy's a great quarterback. We worked one of his games a couple years ago. I am so impressed with what Texas has. Mac Brown, what a great guy. He reminds me of Mike Bellotti. Mike Bellotti reminds me of Mac Brown because these guys, their attention to detail is immense. They cover everything off. They got great players. They have players that perform in big games. Well, guess what? At the end of the day, you win. You know, you win some, you lose some. And I don't want to make it sound trite because it's not. But
I think it was the situation that just happened because the great quarterback competition.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Texas. I mean, every time Major Applewhite came in, he did unbelievable things. I mean, look at his game against Washington in the Holiday Bowl. What does he throw for 450 yards? And you go, where's this guy been?
Major, he's got a little magic wand in his pocket. But he'll be successful at anything he does. This is a nice throw, once again, by Kyle York. I'm impressed. And you know what? Here's a guy, we've kind of got off the subject. We're talking about all these great quarterbacks across the country. And Kyle York here is a redshirt freshman. I'll tell you what, Steve, he's doing an admirable job stepping in, showing a lot of courage. He takes a big shot there, pops up. But he's making throws. How many drop balls have they had today? They've had 5 or 6. I think I'm on my second hand now for drop balls.
Yes.
But it's about momentum. It's about time in the saddle. As a quarterback, you look at the numbers 14 to 31, and he's still gutting it out. He's not giving up by any means.
Now 15 of 32 and very close to a first down is Fred Reed. Now they've stayed close to the best. They're trying to get him with conservative plays, and Reed with the catch here. But York is growing up. I mean, here's a guy who was a 3-year starter, threw for over 5,000 yards at Spring High School in the state of Texas, was one of their best quarterbacks. And you wonder how important this experience will be for his future and the future of the Mississippi State offensive program.
I think it's huge. I think at any time you can play young players, and whether at quarterback or left tackle or defensive right end, you help your team. You help your team because when you have to play all those young guys and then they come through later in their career.
And 2 years from now, Kevin Fant will graduate. There's another drop pass.
Yep.
Fant's a junior, and then you've got Kyle York, who will be a junior then, and he might be ready to take over for Kevin.
Antonio Hargrove, number 80. I mean, crossing route, simple throw catch. You know, Sun's tough. Be the first one to admit it.
It is staring him right in the face right now, those wide receivers and running backs coming out of the backfield, because that Sun right behind Kyle York, who's in the shotgun on 2nd and 10. York, somebody may have gotten his face mask, because as soon as he twisted around, that yellow flag fell to the turf.
I believe it might have been junior C of E or big Ed Wrangler.
Wrangler was wrangling him.
Yes, he was.
Thought he was doing a calf roping competition.
Oh, come on. Come on, Mr. McFerrin.
I like that. Are you what? Are you a nice person? Are you for Oregon?
How about, are you hungry? Yes, I am.
We'll do something about that in just
it always
2
happens,
minutes and 59 seconds.
It always happens, though, at new stadiums. Did we get...
Personal foul. Face mask on the defense. Marked from the previous spot. Half the distance. First down.
Maybe next week we'll get that catered meal. Anyhow, watch it come off left tackle. Oh,
yeah.
Man. Wrangler. 55 tag. Yellow flag.
First down for York in Mississippi State. He flips to the end zone and the touchdown. Brandon Wright, the true freshman from Memphis East High School.
Nice throw. Nice throw by Kyle York. I love it. He's down there celebrating. I mean, he zings this ball. This is a nice little timing route. Nice play down by the goal line. It's a kind of a squeeze double out here. You got a little high-low working. He just fires it into Wright for the score. That's a nice throw and a nice catch.
First career touchdown pass for Sergeant York. The captain's coming back in 2 weeks, and that's Kevin Fant. They will go for 2 points. Well, it looks like they were going for the fade, and they ran to the post. We'll be right back.
it's traveling with Michelin. Right now, buy any 4 Michelin tires and get a Samsonite wheeled carry-on upright and the new Michelin North America Road Atlas free, a value of over $120. Just call 1-888-MICHELIN for your nearest participating Michelin dealer and get rolling. But hurry, this offer ends October 5th.
2 minutes, 52 seconds remaining in this football game. It is Oregon 36-13. Wright with a 9-yard scoring pass from York. Kyle York with his first touchdown pass, and Wright with his first touchdown reception. That's the final scores in from the Pac-10 Conference. California slaughtered Baylor today, 70-22. Washington State was a winner as well. Oklahoma beat Tulsa in the Big 12 Conference. Miami, Florida, the #1 team in the nation. Big, you'd expect. Texas in the second quarter leading North Texas. Tennessee, I like them this year. 47-7 over Wyoming. We'll see Wyoming at Washington later this year. Florida State beat Virginia. Number 6, Florida. Rex Grossman over 300 yards passing. The big upset of the day was Colorado State beating Colorado. Probably the best game of the day was Michigan taking Washington.
But I don't know if that's an upset, Steve.
Colorado State?
Yeah. They've beat them 2 out of the last 3 years, and guess what?
Mississippi State gets it back.
I like onside kicks. I wish they'd do it more often. I just wish teams, you know, you got to like the team once in a while that starts the game with an onside kick.
That takes courage.
Sonny Lubbock's done it before. Yeah. Fisher DeBerry's done it before. I bet you Jackie Sherrill's done it before. What a great play. Well, Ducks had it. And all of a sudden, ball's on the ground, mad scramble. Goler was in there trying to make a play, and the Bulldogs come up with it.
So Mississippi State down 36-13. York steps up in the pocket and is wrestled down to the 47-yard line. I mean, no one associated with Mississippi State could have anticipated the Bulldogs' 3-8 finish a year ago. The winningest program in the SEC West the previous 4 years. Struggled all last season, allowing almost 400 yards per game. And offensively, they went from 32.5 to 18 points per game last year. Now York stepping it up and taking on that second-team Oregon Duck defense.
Well, and you like it. That nice soft throw to his receiver over the middle of the field. And, you know, that's just good technique, good execution.
Washington State, meantime, beat Nevada today 31-7. And a catch by Ray Bivens.
You know, Steve, one of the things we've seen...
That was Antonio Hargrove. I just saw the 0.
One of the things we've
1-0.
seen, Mississippi State coming up short. They got a second short, but the scores this week are awfully big. I mean, there's some wide margins of victory here.
Intercepted. Marcus Binns, the true freshman from L.A. Dorsey High School.
Nice play.
Our Fox Sports Net virtual coach, the final results, 37% say Tyrone Willingham of Notre Dame has the most pressure to win this year. I don't necessarily agree. I mean...
And you know what Tyrone says? Bring it on. Tyrone
really 9-0 over Maryland, a really good football team at the half. 9-0.
They'll win the game. Notre Dame will win the game. And I like Ralph Friedgen and Maryland. I like what they've done, but Tyrone Willingham, if we were all to sit in a room, we being the collective audience of this game, and the guest speaker was Tyrone Willingham, you would walk out of the room at the end of the speech, you would feel better about yourself, you could go conquer, you could go climb the mountain. He's a master of motivation. A great hire for the University of Notre Dame. I like it.
Our Nike player of the game, Jason Fife, in his first career start. The former star of that tremendous program. The Addams Family values. That's right, he was a former actor. 3 touchdown passes, 1 on the ground, and no interceptions. He said he had one line. He was a former child actor at the age of 12, was in Addams Family Values. Said he was the kid with the slick back hair. The executive producer of Fox Sports Net is Bill Borson. The coordinating producers of College Football Saturday are Roy Hamilton and Gary Garcia. Today's game was produced by Dennis Kirkpatrick and directed by Doug Freeman. The College Football Saturday studio show was produced by Lloyd Maxson and directed by Joe Woygas. Senior Vice President of Field Operations is Andrea Barry. Director of Field Operations is Debbie Kilmartin. 25 seconds remain, and Kellen Clemens will hand that ball off to Terrence Whitehead, and Whitehead is through past the 15-yard line, gets the first down. That likely will be the final play of the game. Jackie Sherrill, suffering a 3-8 campaign last year, he knows that better days will be ahead. But this afternoon, coming to Oregon for the first time in Mississippi State history, they lose 36-13 to Mike Bellotti and the Oregon Ducks. The Autzen domination continues. The largest crowd ever to witness a Duck football game, over 56,000. Once again, our final score is 36-13. Coming up after this commercial message, we'll be going back to our College Football Saturday studios with Chris, Kellen, and Artie. Good day, everyone.